World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5341, Star Core Power. Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing had guessed before that there must be a strong backer behind Xuanyuan Huang, but they didn't expect that it was even more powerful than they imagined. He was actually an elder from one of the 8 courtyards. Each of the 8 elders of the 8th palace is in charge of one palace. Although the 4 palaces and 8th palaces are equally famous, the 8th palace is below the 4th palace, and the elders of the 8th palace are far less powerful than the 4 palace owners. Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing did not know much about the 8th house, nor did they know which house the elder in front of them belonged to. Chen Xiang was also quite worried about a strong man of this level. After all, it was the 8th academy that was as famous as the 4th palace. Even if the elder was not as strong as Lan Chan, he was certainly not weak. Chen Xiang was afraid that if his precious daughter had to risk her life for him, it wouldn't be worth getting hurt by then. You know you are scared now. Why don't you kneel down quickly? Xuanyuan Huang looked proud and roared, kneel down. Of course Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing would not kneel down. You said you were one of the elders of the 8th Dean, and I also said I was the master of the main hall. How do you prove that you are the elder of the 8th Dean? Shen Suqing sneered, what do you mean by that? I'm not a child. I won't be deceived by you. Shen Suqing had a secret exchange with Shen Xiang just now and felt that the old man in front of her was unlikely to be one of the elders of the 8th hospital. Because in their opinion, if he was one of the elders of the 8th Dean, this elder was too flamboyant, always making people kneel down, and even putting on such airs, so after they communicated secretly, they were all full of doubts about this. Presumptuous, you pretending to be the master of the hall is a capital crime. The old man in golden clothes suddenly shouted angrily, obviously very angry about this. Although Shen Suqing is not the master of the main hall, her father is, so she is not afraid at all, and continues, I also said that you are pretending to be the elder of the 8th Dean. Please show me your credentials. As far as I know, the veteran of the 8th Dean there should be a powerful star soul stone inside, take it out and show it to me. Who do you think you are? You want to see my star soul stone? The old man suddenly became furious and continued to shout angrily, kneel down, or I won't be polite. Seeing that the old man was so stimulated and angry, and that he was unable to reveal the star soul stone, Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing were even more certain that this person was pretending to be the elder of the 8th hospital. Although the old man brought by Xuanyuan Huang does not look like one of the elders of the 8th Dean, he must be closely related to an elder from the 8th Dean, otherwise he would not dare to be so bold in pretending. Come on, I want to see how you are so rude. After Shen Suqing got the ancient Jupiter core, her strength increased so much that as long as she was not the top powerhouse in the 4th palace and the 8th academy, she was not afraid. Let me show you how powerful our talisman academy is. As the old man spoke, he casually threw out a large talisman. Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing's expressions changed greatly because this talisman was extremely evil and strange. The evil talisman glowed black and red, exuding a strong evil aura that made people shudder. The entire talisman was as big as a bed. After being thrown out, it almost blocked the vision of Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing. The surface of the talisman paper has a ferocious texture, covered with twisted runes and strange patterns, which seems to hide an ancient and dangerous power. The black-red light seemed to blend darkness and blood, exuding an aura of destruction. Both Chen Xiang and Shen Suqing felt a strange sense of oppression at this moment, as if it contained the power of an ancient evil spirit. The evil aura exuding is creepy, making people feel fearful and uneasy. I'll block it. Shen Suqing stood in front of Shen Xiang, with her arms spread out, and a golden light shield appeared in front of her, surrounded by star power, blocking the black and red evil talisman. The evil talisman was gushing out violent energy, distorting the surrounding space, and was colliding with Shen Suqing's light shield. As this, Xingwei, the old man's face changed suddenly. He knew very well that the person who could release the starlight must have practiced the method of entering the heart and had the core of ancient Jupiter in his heart. Under the starry ancient wood, only a handful of people can obtain the ancient wood star core, and there are even fewer people who can successfully practice the method of entering the heart. Before the old man came, he knew that Shen Suqing had no backer, and there was also a patrol officer named Chu Lan. Xuanyuan Huang also said before that the female inspector who came later was also Shen Suqing's supporter. Therefore, in the understanding of the old man and Xuanyuan Huang, Shen Suqing's network is only 2 patrol officers, so there is nothing to be afraid of. But now, seeing Shen Suqing's star glow, the old man was dumbfounded, and Xuanyuan Huang was also horrified. Xuanyuan Huang also knew about Xingwei. He could not defeat Shen Suqing before, but now that Shen Suqing still possesses the core of ancient Jupiter and releases Xingwei, he is even more unable to defeat her. Which hospital are you from? How could there be such an evil thing? Shen Suqing shouted angrily, and the Taichu divine power in her body surged out with a burst of starlight, turning into a golden dragon and roaring away. With a loud roar, the evil talisman released by the old man was blasted to pieces by Shen Suqing's Taichu divine power. You, who are you? Weren't you sent to Shukan? Why can you cultivate starlight? The old man started to panic. Haha, aren't you an elder from one of the 8 courtyards? You don't know me, Shen Suqing sneered. When I see the elder of the 8th courtyard next time, I hope you can be there. Xuanyuan Huang was also panicked. He had thoroughly investigated Shen Suqing and knew that Shen Suqing had no big background, so he secretly attacked the city where Shen Suqing was located, controlled the voting of the city leader, and snatched Shen Suqing's position as city leader. However, he did not expect that Shen Suqing's backing would be so strong. Moreover, Shen Suqing had also cultivated star glory and was very likely to possess the core of an ancient wooden star. The backer who can freely grant ancient Jupiter cores must have a great background. The big men brought by the old man no longer have the same powerful power as before, because they all know that the person who cultivates the star must have a great background, and they also know that the old man is not the elder of the 8th Dean at all. They are now following the old man out to fool people. If they are traced, they will definitely be involved. Su Qing, get on him quickly. Chen Shang suddenly sent a message to Shen Su Qing. Lan Chan has walked out of the room. If we don't take action, there will be no chance. Shen Suqing immediately took action, the palm of her hand flashing with bright light, like a crazy knife beating with golden lightning. She groaned, and saw golden vines appearing under the old man's feet, instantly killing him on the spot. When the old man was frightened, Shen Suqing had already passed by, and her palms struck out with anger like a mad knife. She rushed out 7 palms in an instant, and each palm pierced the old man's body. All the internal organs and dantian were shattered by Shen Suqing. Completely ruined. Xuanyuan Huang next to him was about to run away when he saw Shen Suqing's exquisite figure flashing away. Xuanyuan Huang fell to the ground instantly, and then Shen Suqing launched several violent bursts of Taichu divine power with her palms, shattering Xuanyuan Huang's arms and legs, running through the chest and abdomen. Suqing, stop it! Lanchan had already arrived behind Shen Suqing and shouted softly. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5342, Nishinomaya. Shen Suqing originally wanted to take action, but after she felt Lan Chan's pressure, she stopped and jumped back to Chen Shang. She was also a little worried that Lan Chan would beat her, so she would be safe hiding next to Shen Shang. After all, Chen Shang is the master of the hall, and with Chen Zhang's protection, it is impossible for Lan Chan to attack Shen Suqing even if she is very angry. Lan Chan was very angry, but when she saw that the old man was still alive, she just sighed. The old man was in terrible condition, his limbs were smashed to pieces, and his cultivation was destroyed. At this moment, the old man was struggling on the ground with a ferocious face, screaming wildly. This old man from Fuyuan was definitely not an elder, otherwise he wouldn't have been crushed so easily by Shen Suqing. The old man cursed the 18th generation of Xuanyuan Huang's ancestors in his heart. If it weren't for Xuanyuan Huang, he would not have ended up like this. Xuanyuan Huang wanted to run away, but Lanchan fixed Xuanyuan Huang with one look. She could see that Xuanyuan Huang's whole body was entangled with pale white light threads and he was unable to move. Inspector, I did nothing wrong. I am the city lord. Those 2 guys attacked us again and again. You should take care of them. Xuanyuan Huang was panicked because he could see that Lanchan knew Shen Suqing and had a good relationship with her. Sister Lanchan, this old guy said he is Elder Fu. Is that true? Elder Fu is too weak. He actually helped me defeat him. Shen Suqing said with a playful smile. He is not Elder Fu. Judging from his clothes, he is indeed from Fuyuan, and he is someone close to Elder Fu. Lanchan looked at the old man expressionlessly and asked, is it the elder who sent you, Dean Fu? Are you here? Lanchan let Xuanyuan Huang go back before, hoping to catch a big fish, and now Xuanyuan Huang has indeed brought the strong men from Fuyuan. Are you not a patrol officer? The old man in Fuyuan realized that Lanchan was not an ordinary patrol officer. Of course I am a patrol officer, specializing in this kind of thing, so I want to get to the bottom of it. Lanchan said coldly. Did Elder Dean Fu send you here? Yes, Elder Fu is behind me, so you'd better let me go. And arrest those two bastards. The old man wanted to eat Shen Suching alive at this time. You all come back to the West Palace with me. Lan Chan glanced at Xuanyuan Huang and the big men wearing golden armor. Those big men were all brought by the old man, and they must also be from Fuyuan. Just come back. You are just a little patrol officer. You are so disrespectful and don't listen to my instructions. When our elder Fuyuan comes, you will look good. The old man was very angry because he thought the patrol officers should listen to their Fuyuan. Carry him away. You'd better cooperate with me honestly, otherwise I will kill him without mercy. Lan Chan spoke with murderous intent, which showed that she was serious and that she was also very powerful. What frightened the old man was that Lan Chan's beautiful eyes were shining like stars just now. Could this be another person with the core of an ancient Jupiter? The old man's heart was very broken. He actually met two people with ancient Jupiter cores today. He was not sure, and he didn't know whether Elder Fuyuan could save him this time. Chu Lan also arrived at this time. Her whole temperament had changed greatly, and Chen Shang felt that she seemed to be a different person. Shen Suching also has an ancient Jupiter core, but she doesn't seem to have changed much. Chu Lan's change is not only in temperament, but also in her skin and face. There are very subtle changes. Her skin has become better, like exquisite white jade. After the subtle changes in her face, she looks more beautiful and charming. Before, her appearance was just with straight facial features and very temperament. The face shape is still the same, but because of the subtle changes, it has become much more beautiful. After Chu Lan arrived, she smiled at Chen Shang and Shen Suching. I'll take you to the West Palace right now. While Lan Chan was speaking, she took out a beautiful cane made of tree roots from the storage artifact. She waved it lightly, and the surrounding space fluctuated. This city is built on very thick tree roots. As long as you are under the ancient star tree, you can quickly travel through space. Lan Chan will now take everyone on a space shuttle and go directly to the West Palace. This move made the old man even more frightened, because he heard that there were very few people who mastered this ability, and they were all high-ranking people. Even the elders of the 8th Academy could not master it. In other words, only the 4 palace owners of the 4th palace can master this method. Could it be that the inspector in front of me is the lord of one of the 4 palaces? After thinking about this, the old man felt that this was too nonsense, and he did not think that the palace master would personally handle such a thing. Under Lan Chan's guidance, Chen Shang arrived at the West Palace in the blink of an eye. Because it was directly teleported to a spacious lobby in the West Palace, Chen Shang did not see what the West Palace looked like outside. This lobby is very interesting. There is a huge tree canopy in the sky, and the light shines on the ground through the gaps between the leaves, forming mottled light and shadow, adding to the mysterious and magical atmosphere. The floor of the lobby is decorated with exquisite golden patterns, and the gorgeous gems shine with dazzling light, like stars twinkling. Gorgeous floating canvases hang on the walls, depicting mysterious fairyland and fairy-like beautiful women, making people feel like they are in a fantasy world. Is this the West Palace? It's my first time here. Shen Suching looked around and looked at the paintings on the wall as if she had never seen the world before. Are they humans or goblins? These female goblins are so pretty, right? The old man knew at a glance that this was the West Palace, and it was his first time here. Except for Lan Chan, everyone here is here for the first time. They don't know where the West Palace is. They only know that it is very close to the Xingwei ancient tree. Now that they are in the West Palace, they can feel an inexplicable pressure. Seems to be a powerful pressure from the Xingwei ancient tree. Without enough strength, living in a place like this would definitely be unsettling, and one would always feel the terrifying power of the starry ancient tree. Xuanyuan Huang's legs were trembling. He really couldn't understand why Lan Chan, a patrol officer, had the ability to bring them to the sacred West Palace in an instant. He now also knows that Lan Chan is definitely not a small patrol officer, and must have a strong background. Shen Suching asked in a low voice, "Sister Lan Chan, have you always lived in this place? This is too big. By the way, how many people are there in the West Palace?" "Very few, only a few dozen." Lan Chan said, "I will call them out now." She took out a bell and shook it. The clear sound of the bell rang, and the canvas on the wall began to float, and the beautiful fairies inside actually came out. There are only a few dozen people in Nishinomiya. Although the West Palace is in charge of a large number of patrol officers, the patrol officers do not live in the West Palace, and the palace owner does not usually directly lead the patrol officers, so there are really few people and it is usually empty. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5343, President Fu. Chen Shang thought those paintings were not simple before. There was a vague spatial fluctuation, but he didn't expect that they actually contained heaven and earth. There is a cave inside the four walls of the West Palace lobby, and it is clearly visible. The fairy women who came out were of various styles, with smiles on their faces. They were gorgeously dressed, gorgeous but not vulgar, noble and elegant. Even Shen Suqing and Chu Lan were amazed by these beautiful fairies coming out of the paintings. Especially Shen Suqing, she is also a very narcissistic woman. She has always felt that she is unparalleled in beauty, but now she actually feels that these female fairies are on par with her. And Chen Shang could tell at a glance that these female fairies were created and were a special kind of creatures. He suspected that they were created by Lanchen and could be considered a kind of clone. They didn't speak when they came out, and they seemed to only communicate with their eyes. Chen Shang released his soul power and felt that there was a strong soul fluctuation interaction between these dozens of fairy women and Lan Chan, and they were intertwined with Lan Chan as the center. This shows that their thoughts are completely transparent to each other, and each other can see each other's thoughts. This method is more advanced than Chen Zhang's common clones, because even among clones, they need to communicate with each other through their souls to know each other's thoughts. And if their thoughts are transparent to each other, they can be regarded as a whole. If they can cooperate seamlessly with each other during battle, it will be very terrifying. Xuanyuan Huang was sweating profusely and could not even look at these beautiful women. He also liked beautiful women and had many wives and concubines, but facing this group of beautiful fairies, he was under great pressure. Because some of these fairies seemed to be deliberately bewitching him, but now on this occasion, he had to resist this temptation, otherwise he would die an ugly death. Yu Ji, go ask Elder Fu to come over and tell him that I want to find him to identify him. Lanchen said, and she also said it deliberately to let Xuanyuan Huang and the old man listen. The goblin named Yu Ji smiled softly, nodded, and then the surrounding space fluctuated for a while before disappearing. The woman here actually mastered this method of space teleportation. The old man lying on the ground was even more desperate now. Because Lanchen is most likely the lord of the West Palace. After a while, Yu Ji brought a tall, thin, white-haired old man. The white-haired old man looked very old, but the aura of divine power on his body was very strong. Although his eyes were sunken, his eyes were very sharp. As soon as he arrived, he bowed and said, "See Palace Master Lanchen. There is no need to be polite, Elder Gongsun. Do you recognize the man on the ground?" He said he is Elder Fu Yuan. Lan Chan pointed to the crippled old man on the ground and asked. "I've met him twice. He's Quanzi's servant. He's pretty good. I wonder what he did." Elder Gongsun frowned and looked at the old man. Xuanyuan Huang and the old man were dumbfounded, and the big men in golden armor also had their legs trembling at this moment. The little patrol officer in their eyes was actually the master of Lanchen Palace. And the real Elder Fu Yuan is also here, which means they are all finished. His matter is a long story. Lanchen looked at Shen Suqing and said, "Suqing, you can tell me." Shen Suqing said, "Oh," and then immediately started talking non-stop, starting with choosing the city leader by herself, and then talking about it just now. After hearing this, Dean Fu sighed. The city lord election has absolutely nothing to do with Quanzi, because we have no right to interfere in the city lord election. Lanchen looked at Xuanyuan Huang and said coldly, "You should know the specific situation. Please tell me, don't lie to me, my methods are very cruel. It really has nothing to do with young Master Gongsun, but, it was all arranged by this old dog." Xuanyuan Huang pointed at the old man on the ground with his limbs severed, and roared, "He was the one who tricked me into participating in this matter. I will die with you." Xuanyuan Huang said that he was about to pounce on him, but Lan Chan waved his hand gently and pushed him aside. Chen Shang and Shen Suqing secretly communicated and both believed that Elder Gongsun was highly suspicious. The people from the East Palace are responsible for the matters before and after the city lord's election. I will ask the Lord of the East Palace to come over and make sure to find out the matter today. No one is allowed to die until the matter is resolved. Lanchen said lightly. At this time, a female fairy also teleported away through space, apparently to invite the Lord of the East Palace. "Palace Master Lanchen, this should be a trivial matter, right?" Since there is a problem with the election in that city, wouldn't it be enough to deal with the city lord and the old servant and rearrange the election? And now let the two palace masters participate. I shouldn't have alarmed you. Elder Gongsun was also very surprised. In his opinion, there was no need to alarm the two palace masters for such trivial matters. These palace masters usually didn't care about such matters, but now they were making a fuss out of a molehill. Shen Suqing snorted. A trivial matter. This has broken the rules and shaken the order under the Xingwei ancient tree. You actually call it a trivial matter? Little girl, although you did a good job in that city, I am also the elder of Dean Fu after all. It's not polite for you to speak to me like this. Elder Gongsun smiled and said, it's true for a little girl like you, because this kind of thing has disturbed the palace master, it is wrong to do so, you have gone beyond many basic procedures, which itself is also a violation of the rules. Lanchin said, I took the initiative to find her. Elder Gongsun laughed quickly, nodded and said, I see, Palace Master Lanchin is indeed a good palace master, it's me, this old guy, who talks too much. The Lord of the East Palace hasn't come yet, so it's obviously not easy to invite him. Then Lanchin sent another female goblin. Elder Gongsun also suddenly proposed to treat the old man, but was stopped by Lan Chan. Lanchin waited for a while, but when she saw that the master of the East Palace did not come, she sighed and said, she is still the same, so hard to find. Palace Master Lanchin, please forget about it. Just leave this kind of matter to the people below the East Palace. There is no need to disturb the Lord of the East Palace. I will go over there later and give them an order to take care of this matter. Let the matter be investigated and dealt with, Elder Gongsun said. Is Elder Gongsun very busy? Is there anything urgent to deal with? Lanchin asked. I'm not busy. No matter how busy I am, I have to wait here for the palace master to speak before I can leave. Elder Gongsun said with a smile, I'm just worried about wasting the palace master's precious time. Just wait, I will definitely be able to invite the Lord of the East Palace today. Lanchin said, and arranged for two more goblins to leave. Chen Xiang could see that there was some conflict between Lanchin and the Lord of the East Palace, which was why it was so difficult to invite him. Shen Suqing was also a little impatient. She just wanted to deal with this matter quickly, and was worried that if it dragged on, those involved would escape. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5344, Donggong Yuan. Chen Xiang was very anxious and hoped to resolve this matter quickly, and then go to the Xingwei Temple to contact Qingxing. NCOM Situ's updated chapters are the most complete and comprehensive, and error-free content is repaired in the most timely manner. Due to caching reasons, browser access is recommended. NCOM official website. But now the Lord of the East Palace is procrastinating, and Lanchin has sent people to invite him several times but has not come. Lanchin was not in a hurry. She seemed to be used to the Lord of the East Palace's temperament, and she was very patient in arranging for people to come there one after another. After waiting for more than an hour, the 20-odd female fairies sent by Lanchin finally returned, but they still did not invite the Lord of the East Palace. They just brought back a message from the Lord of the East Palace, saying that she already understood what happened here and that she would arrange for someone to investigate. Xuanyuan Huang and Elder Gongsun of Fuyuan seemed to be relieved. As long as the Lord of the East Palace didn't come, they would still have time. Lanchin could only send Elder Gongsun back first. And Xuanyuan Huang, the city lord, has to be let go and let him continue to be the city lord. This is the intention of the Lord of the East Palace. Lanchin was a little angry and helpless, because she was not satisfied with how Dong Palace handled the matter. In her opinion, Xuanyuan Huang should be imprisoned first. If Xuanyuan Huang escapes, then this matter will not be investigated clearly. Shen Suqing was even more angry. She thought that the revenge for having her position as city lord taken away would be avenged today, but the Lord of the East Palace just sent a message and Lan Chan had to be released immediately. After all the people left, the hidden halls of the West Palace gradually returned to the painting. The lobby of the West Palace became empty and quiet. Sister Lanchin, why do you listen to the Lord of the East Palace? Couldn't you just detain Xuanyuan Huang? Shen Suqing was very dissatisfied. There is no way, that is the city lord, it is the East Palace to handle it. I can't cross the line, because she has never interfered with our patrol officers' affairs. We four palaces each perform their own duties and cannot interfere with each other. Lanchin sighed. Said, this matter can only end here. As for how the East Palace handles it in the end, I have no right to interfere. Shen Suqing snorted angrily. You should all have seen how proud that elder Gongsun is, right? That old fox even gave me a look and was showing off to me. Lanchin said, I believe that Donggong will be able to handle this matter. If Donggong says to investigate, it will be investigated. Chu Lan also comforted Shen Suqing and said, Suqing, just trust Palace Master Lanchin. If this matter is not handled properly, isn't there still the Palace Master? Shen Suqing curled her lips and said, everyone in the 4 palaces is so arrogant, how could they possibly obey my father? I have to become stronger, otherwise these palace masters will definitely bully my father. Lanchin said resentfully, Su Qing, you are trying to drive a wedge between our palace master and the main palace master. I am not presumptuous in front of the main palace master, and I do whatever the main palace master says. For the sake of the main palace master, they don't even care about the rules. Lanchin was very aggrieved because she didn't put on airs in front of Shen Shang. I am the master of the main hall, so I will go directly to the East Palace to see the master of the East Palace. Is that okay? Chen Shang smiled and said, if this matter is not done well, girl Suqing will nag her for a long time. Of course, master of the palace, you are in a hurry to go to the Star Palace. You also need the Star Soul Stones of the 4 palace masters to activate the teleportation, so you must go to see the other palace masters. After Lanchin finished speaking, he took out his Star Soul Stone and prepared to start the teleportation, but he hesitated and did not start the teleportation. Sister Lanchin, let's go quickly. Shen Suqing urged. Stop dilly-dallying. I'm worried that it's inconvenient for the Lord of the East Palace right now. It wouldn't be a good idea to go there directly. Lanchin suddenly thought of something, frowned and thought for a while, then said, forget it, just go there. Anyway, you are the lord of the main palace, even if it's inconvenient for her and she can't say anything. After saying that, Lanchin immediately started teleportation. In the blink of an eye, Chen Shang and the others arrived at the East Palace. After arriving at the East Palace, Chen Shang, Shen Suqing and Chu Lan were all stunned because this was different from the East Palace they imagined. They all thought that the interiors of the East Palace and the West Palace should be similar, but now they see a huge difference. Chen Shang felt like he was in a garden wonderland in the lobby of the East Palace. After being transported to the East Palace, wisps of fragrance rushed towards me, and the air was filled with bursts of fresh floral fragrance. The floor of the lobby is covered with soft green lawn, which stretches like a vast grassland. The lawn is filled with all kinds of flowers, which are gorgeous and dazzling like stars. Colorful flowers are intertwined together like a colorful picture, making people feel like they are in a sea of flowers. The walls around the lobby are covered with green vines and various fantasy flowers, which are intertwined to form a unique landscape. A colorful butterfly that shines like a star flies past, embellishing this beautiful picture, adding a sense of vitality and agility. The top of the lobby is a transparent glass dome, allowing bright sunlight to shine through and fill the entire lobby, illuminating every petal and vine, making the entire space appear dreamlike. The lobby of the East Palace is like a dreamy garden, with birds singing and flowers fragrant, making people feel like they are in a fairyland. Lanchin, you actually brought an outsider in, and there was a man. You have always been a very disciplined person. What happened today? Suddenly a light voice came. Chen Shang and the others looked in the direction where the sound came from, and saw the Lord of the East Palace appearing there. Yuan, this man is the main hall master. This little girl is the main hall master's daughter. And this is Chu Lan, the bodyguard beside the main hall master. Lan Chan quickly explained with a smile. Chu Lan was a little flattered, but she would be very happy if she could stay with Shen Shang. Chen Shang also met the owner of the East Palace. Her name was Yuan. Her appearance was like the morning light, exuding an elegant light. He has a pair of bright and deep eyes, revealing intelligence and mystery. Her high nose and rosy lips outline her noble temperament, and her slightly raised eyebrows contain a hint of confidence and pride. Her temperament is dignified and elegant, just like a clear lotus, leisurely and contentedly, as if it has nothing to do with the world. She wears a white lotus crown on her head, her hair is spread like a waterfall, and is inlaid with a bright star hairpin, shining with charming light. There is a silver white belt tied around the waist, which is inlaid with exquisite gems and beads, shining brightly. Yuan heard that Chen Shang was the master of the hall, and when she stared at Chen Shang, she exuded a powerful aura and solemnity which made people involuntarily feel awe. Show me your Star Soul Stone. When Yuan stretched out her jade hand, she also flashed in front of Chen Shang. Chen Shang also immediately took out the Star Soul Stone and said, Here. Yuan took it and took a look, nodded and said, "It is indeed the Star Soul Stone of the main hall master, but I don't recognize you. Because Xingwei Ancient Wood is currently facing a major crisis, and with your strength, you are simply unable to lead us out of the desperate situation." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5345, Catastrophe of Ancient Trees. Chen Shang now also knows why the Lord of the East Palace is so difficult to deal with. No wonder Lan Chan feels a little headache. As soon as Yuan came up, she believed that Chen Zhang's cultivation level was too low to be qualified for the function of the main hall master, so she did not recognize Chen Shang. She made this point straight to the point and was very frank, indicating that she took this matter very seriously and that the crisis she was facing was indeed serious, so she hoped to resolve it quickly. "My cultivation level is low, but since I can be recognized by the Star Soul Stone and become the new hall master, then I must have my own merits." Chen Shang was also very direct, saying, "My daughter, also there is Chu Lan, plus me. Not long ago, we practiced the method of entering the heart and successfully let the ancient Jupiter core enter the heart." Chen Shang also wanted to be straightforward and dispel Yuan's doubts, so that she could quickly recognize him, so that she could go to the Xingwei temple faster. Yuan frowned slightly, her eyes full of doubts. She didn't believe it at all, because she had practiced the method of entering the heart, but it took a long time to succeed. And Chen Shang, Chu Lan and Shen Suqing were able to do it quickly. What's more, Chen Zhang's cultivation level is so low that theoretically he cannot practice the method of entering the heart, and it is even more impossible to achieve the star core entering the heart. Lan Chan also added beside him, "Yuan, the main palace master did it, and it only took a few days. Among the 4 palace masters, you are the second in the time it takes to practice until the star core enters the heart. It's second fastest, but it also took nearly 400 years. Yuan seemed to trust Lan Chan and directly put her hand on Chen Zhang's chest. Chen Shang suddenly felt a chill pouring into his heart, but it soon became milder. After Yuan detected the ancient Jupiter core in Chen Zhang's heart, she looked shocked. Then she looked at Shen Suqing and Chu Lan and probed them one by one. There was indeed an ancient Jupiter core inside. "My cultivation level is not good, but I can make people quickly enter the star core into the heart. Actually, this is not difficult for me." Chen Shang looked at Lan Chan and said, "Palace Master Lan Chan has almost mastered it now. Yes, she was the one who helped Chu Lan complete the entire process of entering the star core into the heart." "How did you do it?" Yuan was naturally very curious. Chen Shang immediately started to talk about his experience. Yuan listened very quietly. She also benefited a lot from the process of listening. In fact, it was not that they had not thought of Chen Zhang's unique idea of entering the star core into his heart. However, when implementing it, when many details had to be dealt with, they lost their sense of proportion and failed to succeed in the end. The great thing about Chen Shang is that he has very good control over the details and can quickly think of what to do and how to deal with emergencies. After listening to Chen Zhang's words, Yuan said, "Can you really lead us out of this predicament?" Chen Shang said, "Although I don't know what difficulties you are facing, I will definitely try my best to help you, because you are also very important to me. And the reason why I am here is also because of very important things. If I can help you get out of this predicament, it won't be able to solve what I'm facing myself. Master of the Hall, please give me your advice in the future." A faint smile appeared on Yuan's face. She now recognized Chen Shang as the master of the hall. "By the way, Yuan, about the previous incident, that is, the Lord of Xuanyuanwang City, and Elder Gongsun of Fuyuan, always felt that there was something fishy about this matter." Lan Chan asked. "Of course, the matters concerning the lords of each city are all your East Palace's business, I'm just asking a few questions." Yuan sighed softly. "Lan Chan, the 8th Court has joined forces. And the 8th Court now controls many cities. There are many patrol officers under you who are secretly colluding with the 8th Court. Ah, this is impossible, right?" Lan Chan was in disbelief and shocked. "I am the only one in the 4th Palace who has secretly investigated many things. The 3 of you have been practicing most of the time, so naturally you don't know that the ancient Xingwei wood has been severely decayed." Yuan sighed softly and said, "As long as the Xingwei blood oath fails, and the corruption begins. The Starlight blood oath binds many people, because once they betray their blood oath, they will definitely suffer backlash and die in pain. Now that the blood oath is useless, many powerful people have begun to plan to overthrow the Xingwei Palace. As long as the Xingwei Palace is defeated by them, then the Xingwei Ancient Wood will belong to them. Then they will use various methods to compete for all the territory under the Xingwei Ancient Wood. Lan Chan sighed and said, I overestimated their conscience. The ancient star tree has helped everyone improve their strength for many years. Now there is a problem with the ancient star tree, causing the Xingwei Blood Oath to become invalid, but they do such a thing. Chen Shang looked at Yuan and asked, Palace Master Yuan, is this the dilemma we will face? Yuan shook her head slightly and said, it's just one of them. The pressure we face is both internal and external. Then we can't deal with those guys now. Shen Suqing asked in a low voice, that guy Xuanyuan Huang will definitely become more lawless. Yuan said, if we want to deal with it, we have to kill many, many people. In fact, they can only be regarded as some borers to the Xingwei ancient tree. Let us not waste too much energy on them for the time being. It is not worth it. Chen Shang asked. So, the so-called internal pressure does not come from the 8th Academy and those city lords? Yuan nodded and said, it is indeed not them. They are not worthy. Even if their combined strength is 10 times, it is not enough to shake our 4th palace. Our 4th palace rarely shows its true strength, and they only rely on our strength guess, because they have been inflated during this period, they thought they could compete with us. Shen Suqing and Chu Lan also thought that the 8th house could compete with the 4th house just now, but now it seems that the 4th house can easily destroy the 8th house with one move. Although the 4th palace is not afraid of the 8th palace, Chen Shang is even more worried. How terrifying is the power that can put the 4th palace into trouble? Master of the main hall, the ancient Xingwei tree is facing a disaster. If the ancient Xingwei tree cannot survive, it will be destroyed forever. Yuan said with a solemn expression, as for what kind of disaster it is facing, I don't know. I only use it when I'm sleeping. It creates a very strong feeling. Chen Shang looked at Lanchen and asked, Palace Master Lanchen, do you feel this way? Lanchen frowned slightly, shook her head and said, no. Chen Shang is now very sure that Yuan is also one of Qingxing's clones. The reason why she has this intuition while sleeping is obviously because Qingxing is sending messages to her. I want to go to the Star Glory Temple quickly. Chen Shang said, as long as I go there, I can figure out a lot of things. I will invite the other 2 palace masters here. Lanchen said, I will go in person. Yuan said, now when we go to the Xingwei temple, we don't need the lords of the 4th palace to join forces. Something happened there, and we can teleport directly there. Lanchen was startled again and said, how come so many big things happened to Xingwei Ancient Wood? I didn't know, such an important thing, why didn't you tell me, Yuan? Yuan said helplessly, because you are too rigid. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5346, Heavenly Refined Star Soul. Chen Shang almost laughed out loud when he heard Yuan's answer to Lan Chan. Lan Chan wrinkled her nose and snorted, her eyes slightly resentful. She seemed to know that she was a bit rigid. Because according to her character, after knowing about this matter, she will definitely deal with it as soon as possible. Where am I so rigid? I just act according to the rules. Since the law has been laid down, it must be strictly enforced. Lanchen was a little unconvinced and said angrily, they should be punished. Yuan said, if we follow the rules, they will all die, and many of them will have to be killed. Then all the people Xingwei Gumu has trained over the years will be gone. Although their current strength is very weak, they have been cultivated in Xingwei Ancient Wood for many years. If we want to kill them, we can only kill some of the leaders. Lanchen thought for a moment and then said, we should investigate thoroughly and punish anyone as we should. We should not tolerate anyone. Since we have made a mistake, we should deal with it seriously. After saying that, she looked at Chen Shang and asked, Master of the Hall, if it were you, what would you do? Chen Shang spread his hands and said, if it were me, I would definitely kill them all. These guys have exposed their true nature without the restraints of the Starlight Blood Oath, so what's the use? Although Chen Shang didn't follow the rules very much before, Lan Chan felt that Chen Shang had the same idea as her this time. Yuan said, Master of the Hall, it is not difficult to kill them, but they are all raised by the starry ancient tree. If we want to kill them, we are afraid of offending the starry ancient tree. We can only reawaken the starry wood god and consult they can only be dealt with the consent of the Xingwei wood god, so I have always put this matter aside. Chen Shang waved his hand and said, then let's not talk about this matter for now and go directly to the Xingwei temple. I might be able to awaken the Xingwei wood god, and then I will know how to deal with it. Okay, let's start setting up the teleportation array now. Yuan looked at Lanchen and said, let's set it up together, so it goes faster. Are you still going to set up a teleportation array? Chen Shang said a little surprised. I thought we could just teleport casually. Palace Master Lanchen took us to teleport before, and we were teleported away in no time. Lanchen said, under the ancient star tree, you can indeed teleport anywhere there are tree roots. But the star temple is different. It is in the very core area of the ancient star tree. As for where it is, we don't know where it is. It's clear, the star soul stone in our hands has the relevant method of arranging the teleportation array. Yuan has already taken out her own star soul stone, and the star glow looks dim. Lanchen's star soul stone was much darker than hers. Compared with Chen Zhang's star soul stone, the star radiance emitted by their star soul stone was very weak. Chen Shang frowned and said, why don't I have a way to arrange the teleportation array for my star soul stone? Is this the Hall Master's star soul stone? Lanchen smiled and said, Master of the Hall, if your star soul stone has a way to arrange the teleportation array, it will be a fake Hall Master's star soul stone. Because the passage to the temple is controlled by the fourth palace. We ourselves are the guardians of the temple. Yes, so the main Hall Master doesn't need it. Yuan said, in the past, the star soul stone from the fourth palace was needed to open the teleportation array. But now it is not needed. Any palace master's star soul stone can open it. Chen Shang asked, then you can also enter the temple at will. Yuan shook her head and said, no, there is a door in the temple, which requires the star soul stone of the main Hall Master to enter. Since the previous main Hall Master lost contact, no one has entered the temple. I see, then, can I take everyone in? Chen Shang looked at Shen Suqing and Chu Lan beside him. Of course. Lanchen nodded and said, in short, we have set up the teleportation array and teleported to the entrance of the temple. After the main Hall Master opens the door, everything is decided by the main Hall Master. Shen Suqing asked in a low voice, two Palace Master sisters, are your star soul stones originally so dark? Or was it very bright before and then gradually dimmed? It used to be very bright, but for some reason, it has become darker and darker recently. Especially after the Xingwei blood oath expired, our star soul stone darkened faster. Yuan looked at the star soul stone in her hand, he looked melancholy and sighed softly, the star soul stone is like my second soul, but now I feel like it is about to die. Chen Shang went over and stretched out his hand, Palace Master Yuan, can you show it to me? Yuan handed the star soul stone to Chen Shang, here, there's actually nothing to see. Chen Shang also took out his own star soul stone. Putting the two star soul stones together, the graceful star soul stone looked even more dim. It's useless. Yuan seemed to know what Chen Shang was going to do, and shook her head. The former master of the hall said that only the starry wood god can refining the star soul stone and give it new life. Chen Shang said, let me give it a try. You don't need to use the star soul stone now, right? Just use mine to assist you in setting up the formation. Lan Chan smiled and said, Master of the main hall, just try and see if you can revive Yuan's Xing soul stone. Lanchen was relatively optimistic, and she had seen Chen Zhang's abilities before. While she was talking and laughing, she controlled her star soul stone to float and move on the floor of the lobby, outlining a star-like light band in the lobby. Yuan released her own divine power to strengthen and consolidate those light belts, and also took out some stones filled with starlight divine power and placed them at the nodes where the complex light belts intersected. Shen Suqing and Chu Lan also went over to help set up the formation, because their star power was needed. They both had ancient Jupiter star cores, and their cultivation levels were not low, so the power they released contained star power. Chen Shang originally planned to use his own star soul stone to enhance Yuan's star soul stone, but he did not succeed. He thought for a moment, and then took out an ancient Jupiter core. After the ancient Jupiter core was taken out, Yuan and Lanchen, who were carefully setting up the formation, both looked over. They also immediately thought that Chen Shang would use ancient Jupiter core to enhance the star soul stone. It's useless, the star core can only enter the heart. Yuan shook her head softly. Chen Shang then took out the world-proud divine furnace, and then threw Yuan's star soul stone and an ancient Jupiter star core into it. Alchemy? Lanchen asked in surprise. Yes, my father is very good at making alchemy. It is said that this Taichu heaven and earth was made by my father. Shen Suqing couldn't help but said. Lanchen and Yuan naturally didn't believe it. After all, Shen Suqing was Chen Zhang's daughter. It was normal for an adult to brag to a child and the child to believe it. Chen Shang took a deep breath, then used the heavenly refining technique and began to enter the alchemy state. Once he enters this state, he will soon sink into it and become one with the art of heavenly refining. Unknowingly, he also released the Six Paths Divine Mirror to float above the proud world Divine Furnace to assist in alchemy refining. When Shen Suqing saw Chen Shang using the Six Paths Divine Mirror, she felt it was funny, because she heard her mother once say that Chen Zhang's Six Paths Divine Mirror was very powerful and could do anything. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5347, Star Soul Mutation. Shen Suqing was very curious about Chen Zhang's alchemy. She wanted to take a closer look because she was also very interested in alchemy and felt that she should have some talent in this area. She has always wanted to learn alchemy for many years, and given her conditions, she would have many excellent alchemists to guide her. After all, her mother is the queen of Qingxing. Su Qing, the master of the hall, is so powerful at alchemy, then why don't you know how to do it? Chu Lan asked. She was helping to set up the formation and couldn't get close enough to watch Chen Shang refining alchemy. My mother wouldn't let me. She said that if I want to learn alchemy, I can only learn it from my father. Before I met my father, I had to treat alchemy like a blank sheet of paper. Only in this way can I learn from my father. The latest alchemy technique. Shen Suqing smiled and said, actually, I have always been interested in alchemy, and I once wanted to learn it on my own, but I restrained my impulse. Lan Chan whispered. Su Qing, what is the level of the master's alchemy skills? Now he is using Yuan's Star Soul Stone and ancient wooden star core to refine it. I don't know what will happen. If you damage Yuan's Star Soul Stone, he will be beaten. After speaking, she glanced at Yuan, who had a serious face. Set up the formation seriously. Yuan also glanced at Chen Shang. She was really worried that Chen Shang would damage her Star Soul Stone, which was her second life. But now it's too late to stop him, not to mention that Chen Shang is the main hall master. Since Yuan has recognized the main hall master, she has to listen to the main hall master. Chen Shang also heard their conversation, and he had previously thought about taking time to test Shen Suqing's alchemy talent. Qingxing wants Shen Suqing to ensure that she is like a blank sheet of paper in alchemy. This is probably also the suggestion made by the women in Baihua Temple. Since they said so, they must know Shen Suqing's talent in alchemy. Chen Shang also felt that Shen Suqing could definitely inherit his alchemy talent and become a very powerful alchemist. Sister Xiaojing said, brother, how is the progress now? Can Yuan's Star Soul Stone be reborn? Not sure yet, but I can refine a little bit of the ancient Jupiter core now. Chen Shang said, what I have to do now is to refine the ancient Jupiter core to be weaker, and then use the method of entering the heart to make it weaker. The Star Soul Stone can lure the core of ancient Jupiter to run in. After some attempts by Chen Shang, the powerful power of Taoism combined with the power of starlight, coupled with the Six Paths Divine Mirror and the world-proud Divine Furnace, made the Star Soul Stone extremely cold. Chen Shang divided two spaces into the proud world Divine Furnace. One space was used to heat the ancient Jupiter star core, and the other was used to freeze the Star Soul Stone. This was achieved through the superb method of heavenly refining. Enough, the limit has been reached. Chen Shang could not make the Star Soul Stone become colder, nor could he make the ancient Jupiter core become hotter. After completing this step, he controlled the world-proud Divine Furnace to join the two spaces together. At the time of space merging, the ancient Jupiter star core and the Star Soul Stone are attracted to each other. No, the Star Soul Stone is going to enter the core of ancient Jupiter. Chen Shang didn't expect it and was immediately very anxious. Yuan's Star Soul Stone is too weak, so he took the initiative to enter the core of ancient Jupiter. Chen Shang could not immediately use his Taoist power to separate, and also sent his star core and star power into the interior of Yuan's Star Soul Stone to strengthen Yuan's Star Soul Stone. Then he forcibly controlled the core of the ancient Jupiter to enter the interior of the Star Soul Stone. The ancient Jupiter core is originally difficult to enter, but the Six Paths Divine Mirror bursts out powerful power into the interior of the proud Divine Furnace, generating super pressure, and then controlled by the art of heavenly refining, the ancient Jupiter core can be pressed into the Star Soul Stone internal. When the ancient Jupiter star core entered the Star Soul Stone, the Star Soul Stone exploded instantly and vibrated violently. Even the proud world Divine Furnace was shaking crazily, causing a loud vibration sound. Lanchan and the others, who were setting up the formation, looked over and saw the proud world divine furnace jumping on the spot as if they were dancing. Chen Shang was sweating profusely and was cooperating with the divine mirror of 6 paths to suppress the angry star soul stone. Lanchen, Chu Lan and Shen Suqing were just surprised to see it, while Yuan was anxious and worried because that was her star soul stone. She now regrets giving the star soul stone to this young and handsome palace master. If she had known that the palace master would be so messy, she would not have given it to him even to death. Yuan bit her lip and shouted softly, "Stop looking, let's continue setting up the formation." Chen Shang looked at the inside of the proud world divine furnace. The star soul stone was shining with a very strong light at the moment, and the original appearance of the star soul stone could not be seen at all. But he is certain that the star soul stone has deformed. Originally it was a fist-sized stone, emitting dim starlight, but now it seems to have taken form. Because the light was too strong, Chen Shang couldn't tell what form it was. Chen Shang couldn't control the star soul stone now. He tried to dispel the light, but failed. "Brother, the star soul stone is evolving on its own, and we don't know what it will be affected by and what it will become, we can only wait patiently." Sister Xiaojing said with a smile. The star soul stone actually still has this ability hidden, absorbing the ancient Jupiter core will then be able to evolve itself. Chen Shang was also very happy and said, "Yes, the star soul stone in my hand should also be able to evolve, right? I don't know how the star soul stone of these 4 palace masters will evolve into in the end." The proud world divine furnace became quiet, and Lanchen and the others did not look over again, but carefully set up their formation. "Lanchen, I'll leave this to you, I'll go over and take a look." Yuan finally couldn't bear it anymore, put down what she was doing, and whispered to Lanchen. She was about to walk towards Chen Shang, but was held back by Shen Suqing. "Sister Yuan, my father is seriously refining alchemy. You can't go over and disturb him. I don't know what the master of the hall did to my star soul stone, but I have a strong weird feeling which makes me very uneasy." Yuan said seriously. "Suqing, the person who owns the star soul stone, it has a strong connection with the star soul stone, so I have to go and have a look." "Okay, then don't disturb Dad's alchemy after you go over. If you have anything, just ask him quietly." Shen Suqing was also a little worried that Yuan would mess up, so she warned. Yuan quickly came to Chen Zhang's side. She first observed the proud world divine furnace and wanted to explore the situation inside, but found that her consciousness was blocked and could not penetrate. "Master of the hall, is my star soul stone okay? What's the situation now?" Yuan asked softly. "Well, Palace Master Yuan, it's possible that your star soul stone is no longer what it used to be." Chen Shang coughed twice and said with a smile, "But this is a good thing." "What, my star soul stone is gone?" Yuan frowned and her voice became a little louder. When Lanchen saw that the situation was not good, she rushed over immediately, and Chu Lan and Shen Suqing also hurriedly followed. Seeing Yuan looking like she was going to explode with anger, Lanchen knew that the matter was serious. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5348, Star Soul Artifact. "Calm down." Chen Shang glanced at Yuan who was about to cry, and quickly smiled and said, "Your star soul stone will be fine, don't worry, you will see the star soul stone regained its life soon." Yuan was really anxious now, and her anxious look had a different kind of charm. There were already tears in her eyes. Due to caching reasons, please visit the COM website directly with your browser to watch the fastest chapter updates. Chen Shang did not expect that the Lord of the East Palace, who was so powerful just now, would almost cry when he was anxious. Yuan's heart was full of grievances, and her tears at this moment were full of sorrow. This was the first time she had felt such a grievance. Because she is usually very strong, and no one would make her feel so unhappy. But the person she was facing now was the main hall master. Although his cultivation was low, he was still the main hall master and held a high position of authority. She did not dare to take action directly. Shen Suqing hurriedly went up to hold Yuan and comforted her. "Sister Yuan, everything will be fine. Dad is also helping your star soul stone become better." Lanchen also said quickly, "Yes, didn't the master of the main hall say that your star soul stone has changed a lot? You know, the main hall took the initiative to use the ancient wooden star core to help your star soul stone." Lanchen found it very interesting to see Yuan like this, because for all the years she had known Yuan, this was the first time she saw the powerful Lord of the East Palace feeling aggrieved, and she was so jealous that she almost cried. "I successfully refined the ancient Jupiter core into the star soul stone, and then the star soul stone began to change. It seemed to be evolving on its own, and then changed into a form. Chen Shang said, "This process is very strange, and it also takes some time. As for what it will become, I don't know very well, but it should have something to do with you anyway." Really, when Yuan heard Chen Zhang's explanation, she believed it a little and her emotions were calmed down. "How about this? Inject your own Taichu divine power. This might help the Star Soul Stone to speed up its shaping." After Chen Shang finished speaking, he pointed to the other side of the proud world divine furnace and motioned for her to sit down cross-legged. After Yuan sat down cross-legged, she listened quietly to Chen Zhang's instructions and released her Taichu divine power according to Chen Zhang's instructions. Her Taichu divine power contains the power of stars. She has had the core of ancient Jupiter in her body for many years, so her Taichu divine power is still very strong. Under Shen Zhang's control, Yuan's Taichu divine power entered the proud divine furnace, and was very successfully absorbed by Yuan's Star Soul Stone. What will it turn out to be in the end? I'm really looking forward to it. Lanchen was quite excited at the moment and said with a smile, "Master of the Hall, I am also your subordinate. You also have to help me refine the Star Soul Stone." Chen Shang said, "I will definitely help you. The Star Soul Stone is very important to you. Your Star Soul Stone has not been improved for many years. If it is improved, your strength will become stronger. My cultivation level is too great. Lo, I really need your strong power." Hearing Chen Shang say this, Lanchen and Yuan felt much relieved. Lanchen said, "Over the years, I can really feel that the Star Soul Stone needs to be cultivated, but we don't know how to help the Star Soul Stone cultivate." Chen Shang smiled and said, "It doesn't matter, I will teach you how to cultivate the Star Soul Stone in the future." Yuan is serious about releasing the divine power of the absolute beginning. If her Star Soul Stone is really made stronger by Chen Shang, she will definitely be very grateful to Chen Shang. In her eyes, the ability that Chen Shang mastered was even more powerful than that of the previous hall master. Because this happened suddenly, Lan Chan did not continue to set up the formation. They were all watching next to the proud world divine furnace, and they were all looking forward to what Yuan's Star Soul Stone would look like after it transformed. A few hours passed, and the proud furnace that had been shaking gradually calmed down. "It's done." Chen Shang opened the lid and saw a pink-red light flying out. Everyone looked up and saw a very beautiful pink umbrella falling slowly. Chu Lan, Shen Suqing and Lan Chan all saw their eyes sparkling. "This pink umbrella is so beautiful as a dream." Yuan gently raised her hand and easily grabbed the handle. The umbrella surface immediately emitted a brilliant starry light, like twinkling stars in the night sky. The main pole of this umbrella is made of a special material with a pink texture, giving it a light sheen. Its delicate handle is engraved with exquisite flower patterns, like a picture in a garden. There is a pink ribbon between the handle and the umbrella surface, adding grace and elegance. The umbrella surface is as light and elegant as soft clouds. The umbrella surface is painted with exquisite star patterns, and the stars are dotted, exuding charming starlight. Each star is like a small gem, shining with gentle and mysterious light. When Yuan raised this magical umbrella, she seemed to blend into the starry sky. The bright stars surrounded her, giving her a mysterious power. This pink umbrella artifact is not only a deadly weapon, but also has strong defensive power. "Wow, Sister Yuan is so beautiful." Shen Suqing couldn't help but praise. "What a beautiful umbrella, I want it too." Lanchen was filled with envy and praised. "This must be a very powerful divine weapon." "Yuan, how do you feel now? Do you know what capabilities it has?" Yuan was very happy, with a bright smile on her face. With a thought in her mind, she closed the umbrella directly, and then the other end turned into a sword. "This is the Xingwei Luotian umbrella," Yuan said. "She has her own talent." "Thank you, Master of the Hall, I misunderstood you before, I'm really sorry." Chen Shang laughed and said with a smile, "It's okay, this umbrella seems to suit you very well, or have you always wanted it?" Yuan nodded lightly and said, "I have always wanted a similar artifact. I just had a very vague idea. I didn't expect that my wish would come true today." Lan Chan smiled sweetly and said, "Master of the main hall, you also want to help me evolve the Star Soul Stone. I also have a wish. Guess what I want?" While Lan Chan was talking, she had already come over, holding Chen Zhang's hand, smiling playfully and coquettishly, without looking rigid at all. "Let's go to the temple first. I'm in a hurry to go to the temple," Chen Shang said with a smile. Lan stuck out her tongue and was about to go over to set up the formation when she saw Yuan taking out her pink umbrella. Use this to go directly. Yuan opened the umbrella, and the control became larger, and said, "Come here, everyone." "This is so awesome," Lan Chan exclaimed in amazement and said with a smile, "I can't wait to have a star soul artifact of my own." Shen Suqing and Chu Lan were also extremely envious. They watched the enlarged pink umbrella slowly spin in circles, and then the space began to distort. In the blink of an eye, they appeared in front of a tree hole. This is the front door of the temple. The main hall master needs to use the Star Soul Stone to open it. Yuan put away the Xingwei Luotian umbrella in her hand and hugged it to her chest. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5349, Gumu's Inner Demon. Chen Shang took out the Star Soul Stone and walked over, but as soon as he got close to the door, he was sucked in by a strong suction force. Lan and Yuan both reacted quickly and were about to rush over to catch Chen Shang, but were knocked away by a powerful spatial wave. Chen Shang was pulled by the suction force of space and entered the door that looked like it was made of tree bark. Originally, it was agreed that everyone should go in together, but now only Chen Shang went in, and his cultivation level was very low, so Shen Suqing and the others were extremely worried. He is the master of the main hall, so he should be fine. Lan could only comfort Shen Suqing in this way. "I don't know why this is happening. It seems that Xingwei Ancient Wood is more anxious to see the main hall master, or what does Xingwei Ancient Wood want to do to the main hall master? Is he afraid of being stopped by us?" Yuan has this concern. He was also worried that something unexpected would happen to Chen Shang. Shen Suqing was also very worried when she first saw Chen Shang being dragged away, but thinking that this ancient star tree had a deep connection with her mother, she felt more relieved. Chen Shang entered the Xingwei temple and was immediately shrouded in darkness. The interior of the temple was pitch black, seeming to swallow up all light, making people feel a chill. However, when Chen Zhang's eyes adapted to the darkness, a galaxy like the Milky Way appeared in his field of vision. The starry river flows on the floor of the temple, and little stars twinkle in the darkness, like stars pouring down from the sky. This galaxy stretches into the distance, like a road leading to the universe. The faint light of the stars illuminates everything in the temple, making people feel like they are in the starry sky and lost in the endless universe. The walls of the temple lobby are inlaid with countless gems and crystals, which reflect the starlight in the galaxy and exude a mysterious and dreamy light. These gems and crystals seem to be the essence of the ancient Xingwei wood, shining with indescribable beauty. Chen Shang took a closer look and found that these gems and crystals were actually ancient Jupiter cores, and they were carefully carved. He looked down at the end of the star river on the ground. It seemed far away, but it seemed very close. There was a huge altar at the end, exuding a solemn and sacred aura. There is a huge Star Soul Stone placed on the altar, but the Star Soul Stone is dim at the moment, like a huge sun that has lost its light and is suspended above the altar. In the starry temple, Chen Shang could feel the core power of the ancient starry tree. The twinkling of the galaxy and the dots of starlight are all transformed by the soul of the ancient star tree. They show the mystery of the ancient star tree and the universe of Taichu. "Is there anyone here?" Chen Shang shouted. He originally thought that he could communicate with Qingxing immediately after entering, but the situation here was much more complicated than he imagined. "Brother, it seems that this place is not only the Xingwei temple, but also a very important place inside the Xingwei ancient wood." Sister Xiaojing said. "Look at the big altar, you don't know what it is used for, there is another one on it. It's a big Star Soul Stone." Chen Shang said. "It is most likely that there is a problem with the Star Soul Stone, which caused the Star Glory Blood Oath to become invalid. If the Star Soul Stone here lights up again, the Star Glory Blood Oath should be able to take effect again." Sister Xiaojing said. "How are we going to get out now? We should bring Lanchan and the others in and ask them what is going on here. I don't know if there is any danger here, so it would be nice to have them here. They probably have rarely been here. Even if they come in, they probably don't know much about these things." Chen Shang stepped on the trajectory of the galaxy and headed towards the altar. The interior of Xingwei Temple is very spacious. Chen Shang seems to be walking in the universe at this moment, and the galaxy under his feet seems to be flowing slowly, which can speed up his speed to the altar. But not long after, he came under the huge altar. This altar looks very old, solid and heavy. The altar is engraved with complex and mysterious runes and patterns, like the secret language of stars, revealing unfathomable secrets. The huge star stone suspended above the altar emits bursts of dark light, as if it has lost its original glory and luster. The surface texture of this star stone is delicate and intricate, with star-like light patterns intertwined in it, like a miniature of the universe. However, it now looks dull and has lost its former splendor and vitality. Standing in front of the altar, Chen Shang couldn't help but be shocked by this magnificent scene. He could feel the endless power contained in the star soul stone, but it was shrouded in a mysterious fog. He is determined to solve the mystery of this star stone, restore its brilliance, awaken the mysterious energy contained in it, and work hard for his mission. Brother, I feel that the lifespan of this altar and the star soul stone are far beyond the beginning of heaven and earth. It is very likely that these are very ancient things, even older than the ancient purgatory. Sister Xiaojing said. No. Know how it was formed. Chen Shang also felt this way, and he shouted again, Qingxing, can you hear my voice? Brother Shen, be careful of the inner demon of the ancient wood. Qingxing's voice came suddenly, but it was very weak. I fought with the inner demon of the ancient wood before. I am very weak now. You must defeat the inner demon of the ancient wood. Chen Zhang's heart was shocked, he quickly became vigilant, and released the Six Paths Divine Mirror. Sister Xiaojing also heard Qingxing's voice, and immediately cheered up, mobilized her soul power, and was always ready to explode. Brother, be careful, something is approaching. Sister Xiaojing suddenly reminded Chen Shang that she was very nervous now because the inner demon of the ancient wood was very strong, giving her a strong sense of fear and death. Gumu's inner demon appeared, right in front of Chen Shang, looking like a red figure. This inner demon exudes a suffocating evil aura, making the entire environment eerie. After the red shadow appeared, the huge sun-like star soul stone on the altar also emitted a tragic black energy. The red shadow was also filled with black air, and its shape was blurred and distorted, like a burning red flame. It seems to have no clear outline, sometimes twisting into sharp spikes, sometimes curling up like a poisonous snake, sometimes turning into countless red tentacles. The inner demon's eyes flashed with a fierce red light, full of evil and desire for destruction. It made a harsh roar, like a strange whisper coming from the abyss of hell, which made people feel fear and chill. The inner demon of Xingwei ancient wood is crazily eroding and corrupting this temple. It projects evil temptation and fear to all those who approach it, trying to make them fall into the abyss of darkness. Chen Shang, you are finally here. Gumu's inner demon suddenly spoke, and his voice sounded like the voice of the god of creation. You are the god of creation. Chen Shang was a little surprised. It's me. Meeting you like this really makes you laugh. The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon trembled and twisted, and its outline gradually turned into a human shape. It looked a bit like the figure of the god of creation. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5350, Evil Power in Heart. Chen Shang was stunned for a moment, doubts rising in his heart. This red shadow was too far from the image of the God Lord in his imagination. You must know that the God of creation will be an old man with a transcendent temperament, a sacred and kind person. And there is no way the red figure in front of him can be connected with the God of creation. Are you really the God of creation? Chen Shang hesitated for a moment, and an inexplicable fear suddenly surged in his heart. Hongying smiled slightly, exuding a faint black aura, which circulated around Hongying. Yes, I am the God of creation. Hongying's voice was low and powerful, as if coming from ancient times. I am no longer the God of creation that you are familiar with, because I have experienced detachment and transformation. Chen Shang asked. Then, why do you want to meet me like this? Chen Shang asked. Hongying smiled slightly, and black chi evil danced around Hongying. This is a form of my expression in this world. I want you to know that I am not only a powerful god, I am also the inner spirit of Xingwei Gumu. A part of me, from now on I will become a part of the entire Taichu world. Chen Shang frowned slightly, he didn't quite understand what this red figure meant. I exist deep in everyone's heart. I am both their fear and their hope. Hongying explained, in this world, everyone has their own inner demons. Only by defeating the inner demons can you truly grow. After hearing this, Chen Zhang's heart moved. He somewhat understands the meaning of the existence of this ancient wood demon. He even suspected that this inner demon of Gumu was once the inner demon of the god of creation. Chen Shang secretly guessed that the god of creation may have practiced here, encountered inner demons at that time, and then expelled the inner demons and stayed here. After having this speculation, Chen Shang said coldly, you are not the real God of creation, you are the inner demon of God. What is the purpose of staying here? The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon trembled slightly, as if touched by Chen Zhang's speculation, and then slowly formed a vague human shape. It was an old man who looked tired and sad, with complicated emotions flashing in his eyes. I was once the inner demon of the God of creation, but I was also his friend and partner. Hong Ying's voice was low and sad. I stay here to protect the inheritance of the God of creation. Chen Shang frowned, his heart was full of doubts, he would not believe this red shadow easily. How do you prove your identity? Chen Shang asked coldly. Hong Ying was silent for a moment, and then slowly spoke, I can sense the aura of the God of creation, and I can lead you to find the inheritance he left here, which is all left to you. Chen Shang took a deep look at Hong Ying, and then nodded slowly. He still didn't believe this red shadow, he just wanted to see what this red shadow would do next. He took a deep breath, then looked at Hong Ying and said, then, let's set off. The red shadow smiled slightly, then turned into a ray of red light and flew towards the huge and magnificent altar in front. Qing Xing's voice reminded Chen Shang before that this red figure was the inner demon of the ancient wood, but Chen Shang also discovered that this inner demon of the ancient wood did not have the power to kill him, otherwise he would have taken action long ago. Qing Xing can't contact him now, and it must be blocked by the power of Gumu's inner demon. The inner demon of Gumu, are you the inner demon of Xingwei Gumu, or the inner demon of the God of creation? Chen Shang couldn't help but ask. The red shadow trembled slightly, as if thinking about Chen Zhang's question. Then, he spoke slowly, I am not only the inner demon of Xingwei Gumu, but also the inner demon of the God of creation. Chen Shang frowned, he did not fully understand this question, you mean, you exist in the hearts of Xingwei ancient wood and the God of creation at the same time? Hong Ying nodded, yes, I am part of their hearts. I am the fear in their hearts and the desire in their hearts. Chen Shang took a deep look at Hong Ying, and he began to understand the meaning of this Hong Ying's existence. He had also had fears and desires in his heart, and now he was a little worried that this red shadow would arouse the inner demons in his heart. Chen Shang, I know I am very evil in your eyes. When you see the inheritance left by the Creator God, you will definitely become more evil than me. Hong Ying suddenly laughed. Chen Shang frowned. He was wary of this red shadow's promise, but he didn't know why, but he couldn't resist the desire for that inheritance. He took a deep breath, then followed Hong Ying and continued towards the weird giant altar. Hong Ying guided Chen Shang all the way, allowing him to pass through various dangers and obstacles. Chen Zhang's heart is full of doubts and vigilance, but now he can only follow like a walking zombie. After all, this is the moment when he is closest to the inheritance. Chen Shang didn't know why, he didn't know anything about that inheritance, but he was so eager to get it. Suddenly, when he followed the red shadow to a stone door under the altar, he discovered something that shocked him. There is a corpse hanging in front of the stone door, exuding a powerful force. Chen Shang looked at Hong Ying in horror and shouted, isn't this the God of creation? Is he dead? Why did you bring me here to see his body? Didn't you bring me to find his inheritance? The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon smiled slightly, and then slowly said, Chen Shang, this is the inheritance left by the God of creation. Chen Zhang's heart was filled with fear and doubt, but his body could not move. He could only watch as the red shadow slowly approached the corpse, and then drew a powerful force from it. That power burned like a fire, illuminating the passage inside the stone door. However, when Chen Shang carefully observed Hong Ying, he discovered a fact that shocked him even more. That is, the power extracted by Hong Ying is not the real power of the God of creation, but only the fear and desire in his heart, but the energy aura formed is so terrifying. Are you extracting the power of his inner demon? Chen Shang shouted in horror. The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon smiled slightly, and then said slowly, yes, I am just extracting the power of his inner demon. Do you want it? The power of your inner demon is also very strong. After it is released, it is far more powerful than the original demon. Taoist Lord. Chen Shang looked at Hong Ying, as if he had fallen into the abyss of fear and greed. He finally understood the true purpose of this ancient wood demon. He was not trying to lead him to find his inheritance, but to use his desires and fears to control him and release his own demons. He looked at Hong Ying angrily, why are you doing this? The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon smiled slightly, and then spoke slowly, because I am also a part of your heart, and your desires and fears are also the reason for my existence. I am the desire and fear of the entire Taichu world, As long as it is Taichu world I can control the creatures above them through their inner fears and desires, ha ha ha. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5351, Dominate Inner Demons. What happened to the God of Creation? Chen Shang asked in a deep voice. NCOM Situ's updated chapters are the most complete and comprehensive, and error-free content is repaired in the most timely manner. Due to caching reasons, browser access is recommended. NCOM official website. Although the desires and fears in his heart were constantly devouring him, Chen Shang could still remain calm at this moment because he cared about his old friend, the God of Creation. Why do you care so much about him? Do you want to make sure that he is really dead and then take away everything from him? Ha ha ha, you are nothing more than that. It seems that you have exposed the greedy nature of mankind without me taking any action. Hongying laughed wildly. Don't worry, as long as you release your inner demons, you will know everything soon. Chen Shang took a deep breath, and his whole body suddenly became extremely calm. However, the Gumu inner demon did not seem to notice this. After all, he was just an inner demon and had no ability to understand human emotions at all. From the perspective of Gumu's inner demon, Chen Shang is now completely under his control and will eventually release his inner demon. Stop talking nonsense and let me release the demons in my heart. Chen Shang said coldly. Don't worry, don't worry. When you followed me, every step you took, your inner demon was fed by me, but now it is still very hungry and thirsty. When I feed it, when it has strength, naturally will run out. Hong Ying smiled evilly and said, your inner demon must be very powerful. After coming out, I will directly devour your inner demon. Chen Shang looked at the corpse of the God of Creation. Hong Ying was extracting the powerful energy from the corpse, and then drew out a black energy into Chen Zhang's abdomen. Are you feeding my inner demon? Chen Shang frowned and said, is my inner demon too weak? It actually needs feeding to escape. Hong Ying laughed and said, no, no, your inner demon is too powerful because it has been suppressed by you for many years. So it is in a sleeping state and cannot be replenished, so it needs my feeding. When I feed it, the inner demon has returned to its peak, and then you will know how terrifying it is. Chen Shang was very calm, frowning as he looked at the black energy that was constantly being injected into his abdomen. After my inner demon appears, what will it do to my body? Will I die? After Hong Ying laughed a few times, he strengthened the black energy and said, of course you won't die, you won't even change at all, but you will lose your inner demons forever. Without your inner demons, you will become very empty, just like the Walking Dead. Although the inner demon is very evil, it is the most important among all living souls. You stupid creatures have always suppressed your inner demons, so you are so weak. Since you don't want your inner demons, then give them all to me and let me devour them. I will become extremely powerful, ha ha ha. Chen Shang has almost forgotten such things as inner demons, because he successfully suppressed them many years ago and has not been troubled by inner demons again for many years. Will you kill me? Chen Shang asked. No, I will not kill the owner of the inner demon. If I kill the owner of the inner demon will also die. Hong Ying said with a proud smile, what I want is the inner demon. After swallowing the inner demon, I will be very strong. If the owner of the inner demon dies, part of the power in my body will disappear. Of course, if the owner of the inner demon kills me, then his inner demon will also die. Once the inner demon dies, the soul is equivalent to losing the soul heart. It's going to go crazy. Then what's going on? Chen Shang just wanted to find out the situation of the God of Creation. He pointed at the body of the God of Creation and asked. It's very complicated, Hong Ying said. When Chen Shang saw that the inner demon of Gumu had been refusing to tell him about the condition of the body of the God of Creation, he knew that there must be something hidden in it, so he would not tell him for the time being. The little baby is gradually waking up, ha ha ha. Hong Ying suddenly laughed excitedly, making a very excited and unpleasant laugh. Chen Shang also found that his abdomen had become enlarged, as if he was pregnant for 10 months, and he could feel something moving around in his abdomen. Ha ha ha, I'm giving birth. I'm giving birth. Hong Ying danced excitedly. Chen Shang didn't know what his condition was now. His stomach seemed to be very swollen, and there was something kicking around inside his stomach, but he felt no pain or itching, and nothing unusual. Come out, baby, Hong Ying suddenly shouted sharply, and a red shadow emerged from Chen Zhang's abdomen. After the red shadow came out, Chen Zhang's appearance appeared directly, but it looked like his skin was red, his hair was red, and his whole body was red. The red shadow was suspended there, with red hair flying. The perfect inner demon. You are so handsome, Chen Shang, you are such a handsome man in soul. This is the perfect form that I have been pursuing for many years. Hong Ying was excited and praised endlessly. It's mine, from now on, I am Chen Shang, ha ha ha. As Hong Ying said that, he pounced on Chen Zhang's inner demon. His greed was terrifying. At this moment, the corners of Chen Zhang's mouth raised slightly, and Hong Ying also noticed that something was wrong, but it was too late. Chen Zhang's inner demon was originally motionless, but now it suddenly rushed over and grabbed Hong Ying's head with both hands. Chen Shang smiled ferociously and said, using inner demons to perform the devouring demon technique, this is the ultimate state. While Chen Shang was talking, his red shadow inner demon was also talking at the same time. He was the inner demon, and the inner demon was him. Impossible, how can you control your inner demons? Hong Ying roared, wanting to resist, but couldn't. Chen Shang smiled and said, I control everything about me. My inner demons are naturally mine too. You useless piece of trash, you can't fight me. Chen Zhang's inner demon is not as powerful as Gumu's inner demon, but Chen Shang has a powerful body and soul. Now that they are on the same front, this Gumu's inner demon is no match at all. At this moment, Chen Zhang's inner demon has caught him and devoured him crazily. You know, Chen Zhang's inner demons were greatly enhanced by Gumu's inner demons. Gumu's inner demons released their very powerful energy to strengthen Chen Zhang's inner demons, but he didn't expect that Chen Shang could actually control his own inner demons. Generally speaking, once this kind of inner demon that has been suppressed for many years wakes up, it will definitely hate its host very much. But Chen Zhang's inner demon no longer has his own consciousness, so there is no hatred at all, so he can completely control his inner demon. Don't you want to know the whereabouts of the god of creation? Hong Ying grabbed the life-saving straw for a while and suddenly shouted. I don't want to, I just want to devour you now. Chen Shang laughed loudly, thank you, Gumu inner demon, for letting me know my other powerful side. Without you, my inner demon would never come out or change. You must be so powerful. Don't worry, after my inner demon devours you, I will definitely become stronger, and I will definitely carry forward the inner demon road for you, ha ha ha. This time it was Chen Zhang's turn to laugh. Gumu's inner demon felt angry and desperate. He was swallowed up by Chen Shang so much that he couldn't resist at all and could only be helpless and furious. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5352, Soul Spirit. The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon trembled. He never thought that he would be teased like this by a weak creature. Due to caching reasons, please visit the COM website directly with your browser to watch the fastest chapter updates. He wanted to resist, but Chen Zhang's power was far beyond his imagination. He could only watch his own power being swallowed up bit by Chen Shang. Chen Shang felt that his body was filled with a powerful force, making him feel extremely confident and powerful. Gumu's inner demon wanted to achieve his goal by releasing his inner demon, but he didn't know that Chen Shang had defeated his inner demon many years ago. Precisely because Chen Shang defeated his own heart early on, he was able to successfully devour Gumu's inner demon. He took a deep breath and smiled. Thank you, Gumu inner demon. Your existence makes me stronger, and I will use your power for the cause of justice. The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon trembled under Chen Zhang's words. He finally understood that he could not resist Chen Zhang's devouring. I also understand why the Taoist creator wanted Chen Shang to become the master of the hall. He could only watch helplessly as Chen Shang became more and more powerful, and his existence would disappear from this world forever. Chen Shang felt the despair and anger of Gumu's inner demon, and his heart was filled with emotion. He knew that the existence of Gumu's inner demon was a complex existence, with both evil power and understanding and exploration of the Taichu world. Chen Shang sighed and said, Gumu inner demon, although your existence made me experience fear and pain, you also made me understand a truth. Everyone has his own inner world, and we cannot be allowed to be influenced by our own inner world, but should control it. The red shadow of Gumu's inner demon gradually dissipated in Chen Zhang's words. Chen Shang knew that he had completed his mission and swallowed the power of Gumu's inner demon. Chen Zhang's inner demon was suspended in front of him. It was still red before, but now it has become golden. It looks like a golden shadow, but it gives people a feeling of full and powerful power. This is not my inner demon, but my inner soul. I no longer have such things as inner demons. It may be because I fused the core of ancient Jupiter before, so my inner soul is so powerful. Chen Shang sighed. If the star core hadn't entered the heart before, I'm afraid it would be difficult to defeat the inner demon of Ji Mu. Chen Zhang's soul is very powerful, and he can feel that the power far exceeds his own body and soul. Fortunately, this is his. Sister Xiaojing also exclaimed, "Brother, this is amazing. You actually master this kind of powerful power that far exceeds your body and soul. This is contrary to common sense." Chen Shang smiled and said, "Perhaps, I am already very powerful, but my power is limited. After all, I am the one who started to open up the Taichu world. It makes no sense for me to be so weak." At this time, the dark and sinister Xingwei temple gradually became brighter, and a golden light came from nowhere. Chen Shang raised his head and looked at the top of the huge mountain-like altar. There was a dim star stone like a giant sun, but it seemed to be spinning slowly at the moment. It was motionless before. What happened to the star soul stone? Chen Shang was shocked. At the moment when Chen Shang was stunned, a strong light suddenly erupted from the Xingwei temple, as if an invisible force tore through the darkness in an instant and illuminated the entire temple. Chen Shang had to close his eyes to block the intense light. He felt his body being rolled up by that powerful energy, as if he was about to be swallowed into an unknown abyss. When he opened his eyes again, he saw an amazing phenomenon. The giant sun-like star soul stone above the altar suddenly disappeared, as if it was blocked by something. Instead, there was a bright light, like the dawn, illuminating the entire altar. There seemed to be a vague figure in that light. Chen Shang stared intently, trying to see the outline of the figure clearly, but his eyes were still stung by the strong light and could not see clearly at all. At this time, he felt that his body was bound by an invisible force, as if bound by an invisible rope. He wanted to break free, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't break free of the restraints. Chen Zhang's eyes were stung uncomfortably by the bright light and he had to close them tightly. Even his skin was burning. Gradually, the light became less intense. When Chen Shang slowly opened his eyes, his sight was occupied by a huge golden statue. This statue stands in the center of the altar, as if reaching into the sky, magnificent and magnificent. This huge statue is the statue of the sunny star goddess. It's bigger than the entire star soul stone. Her face is beautiful and refined, as if she is the embodiment of the purest light and beauty in the world. Her eyes are deep and bright, as if she has the power to see through everything. There is a smile on her lips, which makes people feel a mysterious and peaceful power. The goddess Qingxing has a graceful figure, and every inch of her skin exudes golden light, as if it is cast from golden liquid. Her clothes are gorgeous and elegant, as if they are flowing golden water waves. The huge star soul stone behind her was shining with golden light at this moment, like a bright sun, blooming with strong light and illuminating the entire altar. The golden statue exudes a strong wave of energy, as if attracting everything around it. Chen Shang felt that his body was attracted by that powerful energy, as if he was about to be sucked into an unknown abyss. Chen Shang stared at this huge statue of the sunny star goddess, his heart filled with awe and surprise. He understood that this statue represented a part of Qingxing, and was also the source of the power of Xingwei Temple and Xingwei Ancient Tree. It also concealed the mysterious inheritance of Taichu heaven and earth. Chen Shang took a deep breath and tried to calm down his mood. He released his soul and began to float above the altar, as if he had turned into a shining star. At this time, he felt that he began to resonate with the statue of the sunny star goddess, as if there was some mysterious connection between the two. Chen Shang even felt that he was integrated with the statue. His soul began to emit a strong light, echoing the statue of the sunny star goddess. Their lights intertwined to form a huge energy field that enveloped the entire altar. In this state, he began to feel the power of the Qingxing goddess being continuously injected into his body. His body began to emit a strong light, as if it had turned into a glowing star. "Qingxing, is that you?" Chen Shang talked to Qingxing through his soul. He could feel that Qingxing was here. "Brother Shen, you are so powerful. You eliminated Gumu's inner demon in one fell swoop." Qingxing's voice came. Although she was tired, she could tell that she was very happy. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5353, The World of Sacred Trees. What's going on with that thing? It feels very strong. Fortunately, I don't have any real inner demons, otherwise I would really fall into his hands. Chen Shang looked at the huge statue of the goddess Qingxing and was filled with emotion. He didn't expect that Qingxing would become more and more powerful after so many years. She is considered the queen of Taichu heaven and earth, and the only god recognized by all powerful creatures. In front of this goddess, no one dares to claim to be the god of Taichu heaven and earth. Qingxing's real body is not here. Although only the goddess statue is here, the goddess statue is very powerful. If Chen Shang didn't have the spirit of soul, he would not dare to approach it. That is the inner demon of the ancient wood, it is also the inner demon of many creatures. Many years ago, humans and beasts under the ancient star tree have obtained the power of the ancient star tree, but these creatures gain powerful power too easily. Therefore, he is too eager for quick success and quick gains, and he also becomes very impetuous. He does not cherish the power he has. They will also have unstable foundations. Chen Shang nodded. Not only is the foundation unstable, but the state of mind is too bad, and it is easy to have inner demons. In order to eliminate everyone's inner demons, Xingwei Gumu decided to sign a star blood oath with everyone. In this way, everyone will be affected by the star blood oath. No one dares to do anything that violates the blood oath. When Qingxing said this, Chen Shang probably understood what was going on. Chen Shang suddenly thought that Xuanyuan Huang and Elder Gongsun of Fuyuan had an evil aura about them. Qingxing continued. Later, Xingwei Gumu also had his own inner demon. The ancient wood's inner demon secretly swallowed the inner demons of many people through Xingwei's blood oath, so he became very powerful. The Lord of Creation Dao fought against the inner demon, but his inner demons were also brought out by Gumu's inner demons. The Lord of Creation had to give up his body, otherwise he would be controlled. It's good that Senior is not dead. Chen Shang sighed and said, it seems that the problem here is quite difficult. Qingxing smiled and said, Brother Shen, because of your arrival, it has been solved. Gumu's inner demon has been eliminated by you. This thing is very troublesome, and it turns out that only you can deal with it. Chen Shang spread his hands and said with a smile, to be honest, I killed that thing by mistake. By the way, Qingxing, the masters of the fourth palace are all your clones, right? Qingxing laughed softly. Yes, have you seen them? They are all beautiful, right? Don't bully them. Although they are all my clones, they all have independent personalities. Don't treat them as me. I'm afraid you can't beat them. Why am I bullying them? They all want to help me manage Xingwei Ancient Wood. Chen Shang laughed a few times. I have only met Lanchen and Yuan now, and I get along well with them. You little scoundrel, I'm really worried that you will do harm to them. Qingxing was also very playful at the moment, teasing Chen Shang. Chen Shang curled his lips and smiled helplessly. Qingxing, what should I do next to unite all three sacred trees? You have almost solved the matter of the starry ancient tree now. Just leave it to the Lord of the Fourth Palace. I will guide them to rebuild the starry ancient tree. Qingxing said. As for the people from the other two sacred trees, they will come over. Will they come? Chen Shang was a little surprised. I thought I had to go by myself. You don't have to go by yourself. The two sacred trees are like two huge spaces and will move on their own. Qingxing said. After they come over, you only need to control the space of the Xingwei ancient tree to devour their space. As for how to do it, I don't know very well. Ah, you don't know either. Chen Shang suddenly felt dizzy. Brother Shen, you participated in the creation of Taichu heaven and earth. I think you should be able to do it, right? Qingxing sighed. I am really too tired. I need to sleep for a while. When I wake up, I hope it can keep up with the huge turmoil faced by the world in the beginning. What turmoil? Chen Shang suddenly panicked. Something big was going to happen in the Taichu world. The conflict between the Yin realm and the Yang realm is, in short, very complicated. Qingxing said. The Yin realm and the Yang realm were originally in a state of balance, but then gradually became unbalanced, resulting in a lot of chaos, so sooner or later the two realms will collide. Quote. Chen Shang sighed helplessly. Okay, I will find a way to get rid of these three sacred trees. You can sleep peacefully. Qingxing said. I will leave some consciousness behind, mainly responsible for guiding the Lord of the Fourth Palace. By the way, Suqing is outside, don't you want to talk to her? Chen Shang said suddenly. No need, I feel relieved when this girl sees you. Qingxing said. I will also leave some inheritance to guide her. Brother Shen, I will go to sleep and retreat first, and I will leave the three sacred trees to you. Got it. Qingxing, don't worry, I will definitely get it done. Now that Chen Shang has the soul and soul, his confidence has greatly increased. After Qingxing fell asleep, the Qingxing goddess statue was not as bright as before, but it still looked spectacular, and the light it emitted still shone, which was very shocking. Inside the Starlight Temple, it became very bright at this moment, and the starry river underground was also shining brightly. Chen Shang holds the Star Soul Stone, and after closing his eyes, he can sense the entire area covered inside and outside the sacred tree, which means that he can teleport to any area covered by the starry ancient tree. As soon as he released his consciousness, he could sense Shen Suqing and others outside. With a thought, he moved them all in. After Lanchen, Yuan and Chu Lan came in, as soon as they saw the statue of the Qingxing goddess, they immediately knelt down and worshipped, shouting, "Greetings to the Xingwei wood god." Shen Suqing recognized the statue of her mother at a glance. Although it was much smaller than the one in the Queen's Holy Land, she was also shocked when she saw it. She did not expect that there was a statue of her mother in the Xingwei temple. "No need to be polite, from today on, I will guide you directly." Qingxing's voice came out. Shen Suqing almost shouted, "Mother," but she held it back. "I, the main hall master, am only the main hall master. You just have to listen to the Xingwei wood god from now on. We did encounter some things here before, and I solved them. From now on, the Xingwei wood god will have a lot of time to guide you." Chen Shang smiled. When they saw the Xingwei wood god, Lanchen and Yuan knew that the Xingwei ancient wood could be saved. Yuan knew very well that many of the things Xingwei ancient wood faced during this period were caused by the absence of Xingwei wood god. "Go and call the other two palace masters." Chen Shang waved his hand and said, "You can freely enter and leave the Star Glory Temple from now on." Yuan and Lanchen's Star Soul Stones could be freely teleported out at this moment, and they went to call the two palace masters over. Chu Lan was still stunned, looking at the huge goddess statue. Shen Suqing wanted to pull her, but a voice suddenly came from her mind, which was the inheritance left by Qingxing. Chen Shang could tell at a glance that Chu Lan and Shen Suqing were both receiving the inheritance left by Qingxing. Chen Shang thought he could relax for a while, but unexpectedly, his Star Soul Stone trembled slightly. He took it out and looked at it, frowning and said, "There is a powerful space force approaching near the space where the Xingwei ancient tree is. Could it be that the other two sacred trees are approaching?" World Defying Dan God Chapter 5354, Zioxingjun. Chen Shang was wary. He felt the faint vibration coming from the Star Soul Stone and decided to go check it out. He knew that this powerful space force was probably related to the Nine Heavens mysterious pine and the Dream Flower Sea. He stood up in a hurry and opened a space passage through the control of the Star Soul Stone. Chen Shang passed through the space passage and thought he could reach the edge of the Xingwei ancient wood space and go outside to see the other two spaces. However, the space wall of the Xingwei ancient wood was very strong and seemed to be for self-protection, so it was not allowed to be opened directly. At this time, Chen Shang felt that the Star Soul Stone was vibrating even more violently, as if it was guiding him to move in a certain direction. He controlled the Star Soul Stone and opened another space passage. This seemed to be a mysterious dark space hidden in the space of the starry ancient wood. Not long after, he came to this mysterious dark space. This space is very dark, and a large amount of the light released will be swallowed up. Even if Chen Shang releases strong divine power to stimulate the strong light, the surroundings are still dark. The shape of this space was like a long corridor. Chen Shang walked to the end of the space and saw a figure. This figure is a middle-aged man, and he exudes a very powerful aura. When the middle-aged man saw Chen Shang, he smiled slightly and said, "Are you the new master of the Xingwei temple? Your name seems to be Chen Shang. I have heard your name." Chen Shang was very wary and confused as to why the other party knew his name. He looked at the middle-aged man and said in a deep voice, "I am Chen Shang, but I don't know you. Why are you here?" The middle-aged man laughed and said, "I'm here to cooperate with you. I know you are looking for the Nine Heavens mysterious pine and the Dream Flower Sea, and I also want to get their power. We can join forces to find these two sacred trees." Of course, Chen Shang would not easily agree to a stranger, so he refused directly, "I am very grateful for your proposal, but I don't need any help." Hearing this, the middle-aged man's face sank slightly and said, "Do you think you can face the Nine Heavens mysterious pine and the Dream Flower Sea alone? You are too naive. I can tell you that it is not so easy to defeat these two sacred trees. Something that can be controlled." Chen Shang didn't want to talk nonsense with the middle-aged man anymore, he planned to solve this problem quickly. Then he mobilized the power of the Star Soul Stone and prepared to squeeze this dark space. However, at this time, strange movements began to occur in the space of Juti and Xuansong and Dreamflower Sea. The auras of the two sacred trees began to become stronger and stronger, as if they had sensed Chen Zhang's presence. Also because of the fluctuations in external space forces, the mysterious dark space where Chen Zhang was located was unstable and began to twist and fluctuate. When the mysterious middle-aged man saw this scene, a trace of greed flashed in his eyes. He knew he had found an opportunity, so he quickly launched an attack, shooting out two purple-red lightning bolts from his hand. The purple-red lightning was like a ferocious snake. The powerful divine power condensed into lightning, making the snake's scales appear lifelike. What shocked Chen Zhang was that these two purple lightnings were shot out instantly, and the electric snake turned into a huge one. It is incomparable, and there are a large number of sky star patterns and earth star patterns on the snake scales. It shows that this person has an excellent grasp of the divine power of Taichu and the star pattern of heaven and earth. He is a person with extremely high cultivation level. Chen Zhang didn't do anything. The Star Soul Stone in his hand directly released a protective shield, easily blocking the explosive attacks of these two violent purple-red electric snakes. This place is the ancient star tree, and this is Chen Zhang's territory. With the Star Soul Stone in his hand, he is almost invincible here. Aren't you here to cooperate? Chen Zhang sneered. Who dares to cooperate with a guy like you who takes advantage of the chaos to attack? Get out of here. Chen Zhang, I am a Star Lord. You know very little about Taichu world, and as an old Star Lord, I can save you a lot of trouble in Taichu world. Although the middle-aged man's sneak attack failed, but his expression remained unchanged, and he smiled and said, I was just testing your strength just now. You are worthy of being the master of Xingwei Hall, and you are qualified to be on an equal footing with me. Chen Zhang said coldly, get out of here. The middle-aged man sighed, a little disappointed and angry, but still said with a smile on his face, I am the Star Master of Zio Star. When you learn about the Star Master of Taichu Heaven and Earth in the future, you will definitely know me. Powerful. I, Lord Zioxing, welcome you to cooperate with me at any time. Why do you know my name? Chen Zhang asked. The demon ancestor told me that that guy is not a good guy. He is very strong, and you are his mortal enemy. It will be difficult for you to kill him, but with my help, it will be much easier. Ziyu Xingjun smiled proudly and said, the demon ancestor is very afraid of me. If you meet that guy and tell me Ziyu Xingjun's name, he will let you go. Farewell. After Ziyu Xingjun finished speaking, the surrounding space began to distort, and then disappeared. Chen Zhang immediately controlled the Star Soul Stone to squeeze out this mysterious dark space. Brother, that guy opened up a dark space here. Sister Xiaojing cursed. What a bastard. I don't know how many years he has opened up the dark space. Anyway, he didn't open it up in a short time. Chen Zhang said, that guy is too strong. I can only defend myself. It's very difficult to kill him. He has such a powerful power without relying on his own stars. He should be considered a character. Sister Xiaojing curled her lips and said, what kind of bullshit, Lord Zioxing looks like a sinister villain at first glance. He just carried out a sneak attack, and he also plausibly explained the reason for his sneak attack. I urgently need to know about this Zioxing Lord and everything about Zioxing. Chen Zhang frowned and said, this guy can get into the Xingwei ancient tree at this time, and he also knows that I am the master of the hall. Maybe there is a mole here, and the investigation starts with the mole. Chen Zhang already had a clue. When the four palace masters arrived, he would immediately start cleaning out the insiders in Xingwei ancient wood, and then find out who was Ziyu Xingjun's insider. Sister Xiaojing said, brother, the guy you met just now may not be Ziyu Xingjun's true form, but just his clone. Chen Zhang nodded and said, this is the ancient star tree. If I make a mistake in this place, I will be doomed. This guy is really strong. After Chen Zhang returned to Xingwei Temple, he looked at the statue of Qingxing and had a lot of thoughts. Today he met one of the mysterious and powerful forces in Taichu Heaven and Earth, which is the Star Lord Force. I also know that Qingxing has been facing a large number of Star Lords for many years, and these Star Lords must have put a lot of pressure on her. These bitches, I will let you understand who controls the world of Taichu. Chen Zhang's heart instantly surged with pride and ambition. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5355, Lumbongan Nangong. Chen Shang was in the main hall of Xingwei Temple, waiting for Yuan and Lanchen to come back. At the same time, he was also watching Chu Lan and Shen Suqing receive the inheritance left to them by Qingxing. Why haven't Lanchen and Yuan come back yet? Did something happen to them? Chen Shang waited for about 2 hours and felt a little strange. Yuan and Lanchen can go to the Nangong and North Palace instantly through the Xingwei Ancient Wood, and it doesn't take that long at all. I have to go take a look. Chen Shang raised his head and stared at the Qingxing goddess statue, and said through a message, Qingxing, I'll leave Chu Lan and Su Qing to you. I'll go see what's going on in the Nangong and Baigong areas. Chen Shang went to Nangong first. He used his Star Soul Stone to teleport to the lobby of Nangong in an instant. The interior of the Nangong of Xingwei Ancient Wood is also an independent space, with an intoxicating beauty inside, full of tranquility and mystery. The entire palace has a blue theme, as if you were in a vast blue ocean. When Chen Shang came to Nangong, his eyes couldn't help but be attracted by the scenery in front of him. He found a clear blue stream inside the palace, like a magical river flowing with stars. The river flows gently and makes a gentle gurgling sound, giving people a sense of tranquility and comfort. On both sides of the creek are fine sandy beaches and green lawns dotted with various exotic flowers and plants. These flowers bloom with blue flowers and emit a charming fragrance that complements the surrounding environment. The walls of the Nangong are covered with blue ribbons and intricately detailed murals showing flowing waves, flying seabirds and other marine life. Each painting seems to take people into an underwater world full of fantasy and mystery. Huge crystal beads hang from the ceiling of the palace, emitting a soft blue light. The light passes through the crystal and casts little starlight, illuminating the entire space. The atmosphere of Nangong is full of tranquility and freshness, as if integrated into the embrace of nature. It is a relaxing place. Chen Shang paused briefly at the beautiful scenery in the Nangong Hall, feeling the tranquility of this blue. However, his anxiety remains, and he eagerly searches for traces of Yuan and Lanchen, hoping to find her and ensure their safety. Aren't they here? Chen Shang looked around, but there was no trace of invasion here. He had met Zio Star Lord before, so he was a little worried that those star owners would sneak in and cause damage. There are strong power fluctuations over there. Chen Shang looked into the distance, and then walked quickly over, only to see a blue crystal coffin there, emitting a strong blue light, and the inside could not be seen. This seems to be the Star Soul Stone releasing energy inside. What's going on? Chen Shang frowned, and then took out his own Star Soul Stone. He felt that the Star Soul Stone inside the blue crystal coffin was very eager to rush out, so it was constantly releasing energy. Hello, are you the master of the palace? I am Lan Shi, the master of Nangong. Suddenly a voice came. Chen Shang heard this soft voice, then looked at the blue crystal coffin, and asked hurriedly, I am the master of the main hall, Chen Shang, the master of Lanshi Palace, are you in the blue crystal coffin? Have Yuan and Lanchen been here? Quote. They came before but left again. They hurried to Baigong because the situation there was worse. Lan Zai's voice sounded calm. It was clear that something big had happened, but she seemed to be calm. I'm sealed here, it's no big deal. Master of the main hall, your cultivation level is still shallow, don't go to the North Palace, it has become a battlefield now. Lan Shi said softly, although I am sealed, I can control it. Nangong's power will protect you, and you will be safe if you stay with me. Lanchen and Yuan can handle Baigong's side. I'll get you out first. Chen Shang was also a little anxious. In his opinion, it was not too difficult to get Lan Shi out. Master of the hall, don't waste your energy. I have been sealed for many days, and I have tried many methods without success. Lan Shi sighed lightly and said, that's it, I can rest anyway. Chen Shang put his Star Soul Stone on it, and then mobilized the power of the entire Xingwei Ancient Wood. He shouted loudly, and the Star Soul Stone exploded with strong light and penetrated into the blue crystal coffin. Chen Shang also immediately stepped back because the crystal coffin seemed to explode. In just an instant, the blue crystal coffin was shattered to pieces. Ah, Hall Master, how did you do that? Lan Zai's surprised voice came, and she realized that she had underestimated the new Hall Master. Hee, I borrowed the power of the Xingwei Ancient Tree. Chen Shang smiled and said, Palace Master Lan Shi, this is our first meeting, please give me some advice. Lan Shi walked towards Chen Shang with a smile, and said with a soft smile, Master of the hall, you are too polite. My little lady should ask for your advice. Her voice was as clear and sweet as flowing water, gentle and gentle. Chen Shang looked forward and saw a gentle and elegant beauty walking towards him. She was wearing blue clothes, her sleeves fluttering gently like ripples on the sea. Wearing a blue floral ornament on her head, she added a touch of elegance and charm. Lan Zai's eyes were like sapphires, bright and deep, shining with the light of wisdom. Her slightly raised eyebrows exude confidence and intelligence. Every gesture and gesture reflects her nobility and grace. Her figure is tall and graceful, like a walking fairy, her steps are light, as if she is walking on clouds. The dress is like the blue sea waving on the shore, emitting an elegant blue light. Every time she walks, she displays an elegant beauty. Chen Zhang's eyes couldn't help but be attracted by her looming snow-white jade legs, which were like two crystal-clear jade legs, emitting an alluring light. Her smile is as gentle as water, with a hint of charm in it, which is intoxicating. The appearance of Lan Shi made the entire Nangong hall seem to brighten up, and her charm and gentleness filled the hall. Chen Shang felt Lan Zai's closeness and warmth, and a warmth surged in his heart. The moment you spend time with her, you feel like you are in a state of tranquility and harmony. Palace Master Lan Shi, who sealed you? Chen Shang said, holding her hand and saying, we are going to the North Palace now. I'm worried that Lanchen and Yuan won't be able to figure out the situation there. No hurry, no hurry, they said that they will come to me and carry me to the Xingwei temple when they get it done. Lan Shi whispered softly, and gently rubbed Chen Zhang's hand, the main hall lord, I will accompany you here to wait for them to come. I will also take this opportunity to tell you about my being sealed. Chen Shang frowned and said, I'm in a hurry. I'm very worried about those two girls. Although they have good cultivation, they give me a very unreliable feeling. Yes, Yuan and Lan Chan were somewhat unreliable in Shen Zhang's opinion, and the Lan Shi in front of him was also half-weight, otherwise he wouldn't have been sealed in the blue crystal coffin. I was sealed by Yaohua. She was worried that I would get in the way, so she sealed me. Lan Shi bit her lip gently and said with a look of resentment, Master of the Hall, don't you trust me in your heart? Spectrum. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5356, Heart Demon. Lan Shi, I'm not saying that you are unreliable, but I just feel that the three of you are a little uneasy. After all, you are all too young. Although you are good at cultivation, you are inexperienced and can easily make mistakes. Shen Shang sighed and his tone became softer. But he was going crazy in his heart. He felt that the four palace masters who were cloned from Qingxing were not very reliable, otherwise Xingwei Gumu would not be facing this situation now. After hearing this, Lan Zai's face became a little sad. She knew that Chen Shang was telling the truth, and she indeed had little experience. Master of the Hall, I will try not to hold you back. Moreover, I also want to find Yuan and Lan Chan. The three of us together may be able to take care of each other. Lan Shi forced a smile, with a trace of determination flashing in his eyes. Chen Shang looked at Lan Zai's expression and felt a little relieved. After all, they now have a common goal, which is to find Yuan and Lanchen. Okay, let's go together. But you must follow me closely and don't run around, understand? Chen Shang warned. Okay, I will follow you closely. Lan Shi nodded, a hint of gratitude flashed in his eyes, and then smiled sweetly and said, Master of the Hall, you must also follow me closely. If there is any emergency, I can protect you. Isn't it just heading to the North Palace? What emergencies could happen? Chen Shang didn't think there would be any danger. In his opinion, the three palace masters he met so far all needed his help to break through his own bottleneck. Master of the Hall, the current situation in the Baigong is very complicated. I have said before that it has become a battlefield. Lan Shi suddenly hesitated and said, if Lanchen and Yuan know that I am taking you there, say maybe they will blame me, after all, Baigong is in danger now. Chen Shang asked, who are Yuan and the others fighting? Lan Shi shook her head slightly, I'm not sure. Yaohua, the palace owner of Baigong, told us before that she used some means to seal a group of strong and evil things in Baigong. It was originally good, but during the recent period, those things that were sealed suddenly broke through the seal. I objected to them fighting those things, so I was sealed. Chen Shang frowned and said, Palace Master Lan Shi, in your opinion, what is the strength of the group of things they face? Can they really beat them? Lan Shi shook his head and said, my intuition tells me that they can't beat them. I don't know what they think. Although I stopped them from going, I wanted to go with them later, but I didn't know that they sealed me stand up. When Chen Shang heard this, he knew that those three girls were taking risks. They are really, by the way, who is the boss among you 4 palace masters? Chen Shang suddenly realized that these 4 palace masters may have different personalities, but because they are all clones of Qingxing, the idea is convergent. We are all of the same age, and there is no eldest sister. Lan Shi looked a little melancholy and sighed softly. Master of the Hall, I am also very confused now. Should I stop you from going to the North Palace? Because it is very dangerous there. Quote. Of course I want to go. Chen Shang curled his lips. I'm different from them. I'm going to save them, not go there to fight with others. Okay, let's go there right away. Lan Shi also felt that there would be no problem if she went over to save people. She was also worried about the 3 palace masters. Chen Shang took out the Star Soul Stone, took Lan Zai's hand, and said, we will teleport to Baigong now. Chen Shang quickly locked the location of Baigong through the Star Soul Stone, and then teleported there in an instant. Inside the North Palace, you can see many ruins and dilapidated buildings. These once magnificent palaces have now been destroyed beyond recognition. On this battlefield, ruins are everywhere, and rubble piles up like mountains, seeming to tell the story of past glory and current vicissitudes. The air is filled with the smell of dust and gun smoke, making people feel heavy and depressed. The battlefield is filled with an evil aura, exuding dark and twisted energy. Dark shadows dance among the ruins, exuding chilling malevolence. Those once magnificent buildings have now become a breeding ground for evil. There are so many corpses, what are these? Chen Shang frowned and looked around. Yao Hua once said that this kind of thing is called the inner demon. This is the first time I've seen it, and I don't know how it came about. Lan Shi had a thin sword in his hand, and the powerful Taichu divine power was running through his body, and he was on full alert at this moment. Countless corpses were scattered on the ground, and a dark aura rose from them. Broken limbs, broken arms, broken armor, and blood were mixed together to form a horrifying sight. The faces of those inner demons were twisted and ferocious, and their eyes were full of despair and fear. Black evil energy floated on the battlefield, filled with a suffocating stench, lingering among the wreckage and distorting the surrounding space. Black mist rose into the sky, as if invisible hands were controlling this cruel battle. Chen Shang and Lan Shi both looked in one direction, where there was a strong aftermath of the battle, and the 3 palace masters should be there. When they walked over, they saw the bodies of the defeated inner demons piled up everywhere. They were killed beyond recognition, and their blood stained the land red, carving traces of evil on the earth. The black evil spirit emanates from the corpse, like a black halo, making people feel deep fear and despair. Chen Shang looked at the corpses of these inner demons and couldn't help but feel worried in his heart. Although he did not know the identity of these inner demons, he could feel that the evil aura among them was closely connected with the inner demons of Gu-Mu. Gu-Mu's inner demon has been defeated and devoured by him. However, the existence of these inner demons shows that the power of Gu-Mu's inner demon has not completely dissipated. Perhaps the remaining power of the inner demons gathered on the battlefield, resurrected from the dead, and continued to fight against the forces of justice. A trace of anxiety arose in Chen Zhang's heart. He realized that the enemy he faced was far more tenacious and hidden than he imagined. The shadow of Gu-Mu's inner demon is still lurking, threatening the peace of the entire Xingwei Gu-Mu at all times. He decided to deal with these remaining demons as soon as possible to completely eliminate the influence of Gu-Mu's demons. Only in this way can the ancient Xingwei tree restore peace and tranquility and no longer be disturbed by evil forces. Chen Shang took a deep breath and concentrated on alert. His eyes scanned every corner of the battlefield, preparing for the next battle. He knew that only through a complete victory could the ancient Xingwei tree regain its former glory and get rid of the shackles of evil. The Proud Alchemy God. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5357, Small Trial Deity. While Chen Shang and Lan Shi were on guard and on their way, waves of black evil spirits suddenly emerged from the chaos of the battlefield, twisting and floating in the air like ghosts. The evil energy floating in the air began to condense into the inner demon again. After seeing the thick black energy in the air turbulent for a moment, the inner demons covered in pitch black descended from the thick black clouds. The dense crowd of inner demons fell to the ground instantly, their eyes flashing with indifference and cruelty, as if they were controlled by some invisible force. Be careful, Lan Shi suddenly shouted, and at the same time, his figure flashed and came to the rear of Chen Shang, and swung out a sword to strike at the red figure who suddenly attacked. The inner demons all look black, but suddenly a red shadow flashes over, and the aura is very powerful. He is obviously the strongest among the inner demons. After the red shadow was opened by Lan Shi, it suddenly disappeared, and then 3 more red shadows flew over from 3 directions. Lan Zi's expression was solemn, and she immediately regretted letting Chen Shang come over. Because the 3 red figures she faced were very powerful, it was very difficult for her to deal with them. If it takes a long time, she will be defeated, and Chen Shang is now alone and has to face tens of thousands of ferocious inner demons. Lan Shi originally wanted to pull Chen Shang away, but the 3 red shadows were too strong and rushed towards them, forcing Lan Shi to use the powerful Taichu divine power to attack. I saw the Taichu divine power released by Lan Shi, like 3 beautiful blue streams, and also dancing with blue electric light. It asterisk the 3 red figures, and then dragged them as far away as possible to keep them as far away from Shen Shen as possible. Soar. Palace Master Lan Shi, I can take care of myself. Chen Shang tightly held the Azure Dragon Demon slaying knife in his hand, with a firm will stirring in his heart. He knew that this was a battle of life and death. Only by defeating these remaining inner demons could Xingwei Gumu regain peace and tranquility. Gumu's inner demon. You will never succeed again. Chen Zhang's voice was as sharp as a knife, facing those dark shadows. The green dragon demon slaying knife waved, and countless green dragons roared, turning into waves of violent thunder and wind, shining with bright stars. A large number of inner demons were immediately chopped to pieces by Chen Shang, with their flesh and blood flying everywhere. Chen Shang has the power released by the Star Soul Stone to protect his body. The star shield formed is very powerful. The attacks from the inner demon are instantly dispersed when they fall on him, so Chen Shang can slash wildly with his sword without any scruples. However, there seems to be a strong consciousness behind the demon man controlling the situation. At this moment, evil spirits are flying with strong winds and beginning to cover the battlefield. In the black evil spirit, Chen Shang brandished the Azure Dragon Demon slaying knife, his figure flashing like a gust of wind. The green dragon roared, and the sword was as bright as a star. Every time it was swung, it turned into a bright meteor, blooming on the battlefield. Qinglong destroys evil. Chen Shang shouted low, the light of the Azure Dragon Demon slaying sword surged, and the sword's power was like lightning, heading straight towards the inner demon formation. The green mad dragon turned into a powerful momentum, sweeping all directions, and a large number of inner demons fell from the sky and were torn apart by the wind of the green dragon sword. Even with the help of the power of the Star Soul Stone, the battle is not easy. The inner demons are numerous, menacing, and powerful, making it difficult to defeat them all. But Chen Shang had no intention of retreating. He stood firmly in the center of the battlefield and continued to fight the inner demon. Lan Shi frowned slightly when she saw this. She knew that these inner demons were difficult to deal with easily, and although Chen Shang was brave, it was difficult for him to face so many enemies alone. Therefore, she immediately mobilized more Taichu divine power and quickly fully supported Chen Shang from a distance. The primordial divine power of Lan Shi was like blue water, condensing into a blue light curtain, surrounding Chen Shang, like a huge whirlpool of blue water, pulling in a large number of inner demons. Chen Shang now only needs to use his sword against the light screen to kill a large number of inner demons in an instant. He wielded the green dragon demon slaying knife. The sword shone like stars and the dragon roared. Every time he swung it, there was a storm, making it impossible for those with inner demons to escape. The blue light curtain kept rotating, trapping the demons inside. They struggled to escape, but were attracted by the strong gravity in the vortex and could not escape at all. Lan Shi and Chen Shang cooperated tacitly, like a pair of tacit fighting partners, jointly resisting the attack of the inner demon. With the help of Lan Shi, Chen Zhang's fighting became more skillful. The sword shines like a star, the dragon roars, and in the dark battlefield, his figure shines like a star, breaking through the darkness like a star. As the battle progressed, the black evil spirits gradually weakened, and the number of inner demons gradually decreased. Lan Shi and Chen Shang worked closely together and supported each other, repelling waves of inner demons. The force behind the control of the inner demon now also knows that it is difficult to defeat Chen Shang and will no longer bring down the inner demon. Now only the 3 red figures bundled by Blue River are left. These 3 red shadows are difficult to deal with, and it is difficult for Blue Creek to kill them, but they are extremely tenacious. The 3 groups of red figures all wanted to escape at this moment, but Lan Shi did not want to give up this opportunity, because she knew that after the 3 groups of red figures escaped, they would definitely encounter them again in the future. Palace Master Lan Shi, let me help you. Chen Shang rushed towards Lan Shi. Master of the hall, don't come close, these things are too dangerous. Lan Shi shouted in panic when he saw Chen Shang approaching. At this time, the three red shadows suddenly expanded and seemed stronger than before, as if they were suddenly injected with powerful energy. Chen Shang knew at a glance that after seeing him coming, the mysterious force suddenly strengthened the three red shadows, obviously targeting him. HMPH, to me, this kind of thing is worse than the inner demon. Chen Shang was disdainful and rushed over without slowing down. Lan Shi was so worried that he had to restrain the three swollen red shadows with all his strength. In Shen Zhang's eyes, those three red shadows are part of Gu Mu's inner demon. Not long ago, he easily killed the inner demon of Gu Mu, so these three red shadows are very weak things in his eyes. Chen Shang directly controlled his soul to release his power. The soul did not leave his body, but it was attached to his body, causing his body to flash with golden light. The three red figures suddenly trembled, as if in fear, trying to break free from Lan Zai's imprisonment, but it was too late. After Chen Shang passed by, he directly used the devouring demon technique, and the three red shadows were instantly sucked by him and disappeared in an instant. The surrounding area suddenly became quiet, and the black evil atmosphere was much lessened. Lan Shi looked at Chen Shang in shock. She didn't expect that the strange red shadow that was so difficult to deal with would be easily dealt with by Chen Shang. In her eyes, this main hall master is only at the 30th level of Taichu realm. Let's continue on our way. Chen Shang said. Baigong should have been eroded by the remaining power of Gu Mu's inner demon and must be eliminated as soon as possible. Chen Shang just tried out the power of the soul and found that it was much stronger than he imagined. Lan Shi didn't notice the power of Chen Zhang's soul just now, or even sense it. This was also because Chen Shang controlled the soul so easily. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5358, Tacit Understanding of Attack. Chen Shang and Lan Shi continued to walk through this strange ancient battlefield inside Baigong. Among the ruins and chaotic environment, there would occasionally be figures of some inner demons, but they were quickly eliminated by Chen Shang and Lan Shi. As they went deeper, the evil aura became stronger and stronger, as if a dark shadow enveloped the entire area. Occasionally, you can see some inner demons patrolling around, their eyes full of ferocity and violence. Palace Master Lan Shi, we have to be careful. Although the strength of the inner demons here is not as good as before, there are many of them and the lineup is huge. Don't be careless, Chen Shang warned vigilantly. Lan Shi nodded. She also felt the pressure here and knew that Chen Shang was right. She put away the doubts in her heart. She now had full confidence in Chen Shang and could always fight alongside him. The two of them ran around the ancient battlefield without any hindrance, facing more and more inner demons. As Chen Shang swung the green dragon demon slaying knife, the inner demons exuding evil spirits were destroyed one after another. Lan Zai's primordial divine power was like a blue water curtain, trapping the inner demons inside, and he cooperated flawlessly with Chen Shang. As time went by, they gradually felt that the atmosphere of the ancient battlefield had changed. The oppressive feeling of darkness seems to be weakening, and the surrounding environment is gradually becoming clearer. It seems that our battle has had an impact, and the power of the inner demon has begun to weaken. Lan Shi was filled with joy. Chen Shang also breathed a sigh of relief. He knew that they were moving in the right direction. As long as you continue to persist, Baigong's situation will gradually improve. Palace Master Lan Shi, we must continue to work hard to purify this ancient battlefield and return the ancient starry trees to tranquility. Chen Shang looked at the place where the aftermath of the battle broke out in front, his expression suddenly solemn, and said, Yuan and Lanshan, they should fight there. I don't know what kind of inner demon they face. The evil spirit ahead gradually grew stronger and turned into a black cyclone in the air, bursting out from time to time with waves of evil black wind. Chen Shang and the others originally wanted to speed up, but were blocked by waves of strong winds. Even people of their strength felt considerable resistance at this moment. Chen Zhang's words made Lan Shi feel worried. She knew that their mission was not only to purify this ancient battlefield, but also to support Yuan and Lanshan. However, the evil energy in front was strong and the air flow was violent, making their progress very slow. We have to break through this line of defense as soon as possible to support them. Lan Shi said, her eyes firm. Chen Shang nodded. He looked at the black cyclone in front of him and silently estimated the overall strength in his heart. He took a deep breath, and then suddenly his speed surged, leading Lan Shi directly towards the black cyclone. But at this moment, the black evil spirit in front of them surged rapidly and turned into a super black python, blocking them directly in front of them like a great wall. Facing the sudden appearance of the super black giant python, Chen Shang and Lan Shi could not help but be slightly stunned. This evil power was far beyond their imagination. Chen Zhang's eyes were fixed on the black python, and thoughts were swirling in his mind. He knew that this sprint would not be easy and he had to go all out. Lan Shi, get ready. Chen Shang took a deep breath, raised the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Sword in his hand, and condensed the powerful Taichu Divine Power. Here we come. Lan Shi also unleashed the absolute beginning divine power with all his strength, and rushed towards the black giant python together with Chen Shang. The figures of the two people quickly approached the black python. The green dragon demon slaying knife and Taichu's divine power turned into strong blue light, intertwined with the evil power of the black python, and formed a fierce collision. Boom! Violent energy fluctuations erupted in the air, and the entire ancient battlefield was shaken violently. Chen Shang and Lan Shi put all their strength into this sprint. They kept attacking the black python's defense line, trying to break through the powerful dark barrier. However, the evil aura of the black python has not weakened, and it seems to be becoming more ferocious. Chen Shang and Lan Shi felt that the resistance ahead was getting bigger and bigger, and it seemed that it would be difficult to take another step forward. We have to find a way to break through its defenses. Lan Shi gritted her teeth. She knew that time waits for no one and she must come up with an effective method. Chen Zhang's eyes flashed and he suddenly thought of a way. He motioned Lan Shi to come closer, and the two people's Taichu divine power merged together. The cooperation between them was extremely tacit, and they quickly perfectly integrated the power of Taichu's divine power and the power of the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Sword, forming a blazing blue beam of light, like a giant blue dragon bursting out of the sky. Attack together! Chen Shang shouted, and the two of them attacked at the same time. The giant blue dragon hit the ground like a meteor, hitting the black giant python with a bang. The beam of light was like a giant blue dragon tearing apart the defense line of the black python, making a loud roar. The black python was severely injured, roaring and trying to fight back, but Lan Shi and Shen Zhang's attacks followed closely, wrapping around it tightly and not giving it a chance to breathe. Under the joint attack of the two men, the black python gradually became embarrassed and the defense line began to collapse. There was determination in Lan Zifeng's eyes. She knew that now was the most critical moment and she had to work hard to defeat the black giant python. Chen Shang felt the fusion of Lan Zi's Taichu divine power and his Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife, and felt full of confidence in his heart. Their cooperation became more and more tacit, and the blue dragon they formed became larger and more terrifying. Ouch! The black python roared for the last time, but it could no longer resist the suppression of the blue dragon. Under the offensive of Lan Shi and Shen Shang, it finally failed to hold up and turned into a black smoke, dissipating in the battlefield. The black cyclone gradually subsided, and the powerful evil aura gradually weakened. Chen Shang and Lan Shi successfully broke through the line of defense and continued to move forward. In the chaotic battlefield inside the Baigong, various inner demons are still fighting non-stop, and the evil atmosphere is permeated, making people shudder. But Chen Shang and Lan Shi did not flinch at all. They continued to move forward with firm eyes. We want to support Yuan and Lan Chan. Lan Shi held the divine sword in her hand tightly and led Chen Shang forward. Chen Shang felt heavy because he realized that the evil energy in the North Palace most likely came from the ancient Xingwei tree. The black giant python that suddenly appeared before and the cyclone above the central area of the fierce battle are extremely powerful. This kind of power can only be produced by Xingwei ancient wood. Therefore, Xingwei Gumu still has some power, which is affected by the inner demon of Gumu. He has destroyed Gumu's inner demon. Although Gumu's inner demon still has a certain amount of power, it shouldn't have such power. Therefore, Chen Shang suspected that there was most likely a mysterious enemy who was secretly controlling the power of Gumu's inner demon and planning all of this. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5359, Evil Erosion. Chen Shang and Lan Shi walked side by side, getting closer and closer to the center of the chaotic battlefield. The atmosphere there became more violent, as if endless dark power was ready to move. Palace Master Lan Shi, we have to be careful, the evil force in the central area may be even stronger. Chen Shang warned. Lan Shi nodded, still with a determined expression on her face. No matter how great the danger is, we cannot retreat. Our mission is to eliminate these evil forces and protect the ancient Xingwei trees. The two of them quickened their pace again, their bodies like lightning, and quickly passed through the chaotic battlefield. The inner demons were like candles in the wind in front of them, and were easily killed by the combined attacks of Lan Shi and Shen Shang. Suddenly, a black whirlwind arose, and a cold laughter came from the whirlwind. Ha ha ha, welcome, Chen Shang and Lan Shi. In the darkness, a figure appeared leisurely, emitting a strange black light. He looked like a middle-aged man with an ordinary face, but his eyes shone with cunning. You are the mastermind behind this. Chen Zhang's eyes were cold and he held the azure dragon demon slaying knife tightly. Why did you do all this? The man in the darkness laughed proudly. You are so naive. You think that destroying the inner demon of the ancient tree will solve everything. When the ancient tree of starlight was first born, I had already left some power in it to control it, make it even more powerful. Lan Shi frowned. She didn't expect that the other party had such a conspiracy. Who are you? Why do you want to attack Xingwei ancient tree? The man curled his lips disdainfully. I am not satisfied with everything in this Taichu world. I want to make Taichu world even more chaotic. Only chaos can create a new order. His words shocked Chen Shang and Lan Shi. They did not expect that someone would be so crazy. Your ambition is ridiculous, Lan Shi said coldly. We will never let you succeed. Ha ha ha, what can you do to stop me? The man laughed mockingly, and the black cyclone rolled around him, forming a dark barrier. Palace Master Lan Shi, this is just a body formed by the evil energy gathered in that guy's consciousness. It is not his real body, he is just to prevent us from saving Lanshan and the others. Let's take action together and kill him. Chen Shang held the Qinglong Slayer tightly. The magic knife condenses the divine power of Taichu. Okay. Lan Zai's expression was firm, her body emitted a brilliant blue light, and the divine power of Taichu converged into a blue beam. The divine sword was like a dragon roaring in Shen Zhang's hands. Lan Zai's Taichu divine power and the power of the azure dragon demon slaying sword were once again perfectly integrated, forming a dazzling blue light beam, condensing the will and determination of the two people, heading towards that the crazy man slashed and attacked violently. You still overestimate your capabilities. The man sneered, and the dark barrier trembled violently, trying to block the two men's attacks. However, under the joint attack of Lan Shi and Shen Shang, the dark barrier began to collapse, and the spreading black energy gradually dissipated. You are the bastard, Chen Shang shouted loudly, and the azure dragon demon slaying knife turned into a blue lightning, cutting through the darkness and heading straight for the man. Lan Zai's Taichu divine power surrounded the beam, enhancing the power of the attack. A trace of surprise flashed in the man's eyes, but then a sneer appeared on his lips, and a black dagger suddenly appeared in his hand. He waved the dagger without hesitation, and the black cyclone formed an indestructible black barrier, blocking Chen Shang and Lan Zai's attacks. You are not strong enough. The man said coldly. If you want to stop me, be prepared to pay the price. Lan Shi stared at the man closely, a trace of determination flashed in his eyes. She knew that now she had reached an important moment and could no longer hesitate. She decided to take action with all her strength and show no mercy, completely defeating this crazy man. Master of the Hall, let's attack together again with all our strength. Lan Shi said in a deep voice. Chen Shang nodded, and the two of them once again gathered the power of the absolute beginning divine power and the azure dragon demon slaying sword. The blue and cyan light shone brilliantly, forming a hot blue-green beam. This attack is more powerful than before, as if it will turn all evil into nothing. The dark barrier trembled violently, and the man's face turned ferocious, but he did not flinch at all. The black dagger shone strangely in his hand, trying to resist the attacks of the two men. You two trash fish, die! The man gritted his teeth, feeling strong pressure from Chen Shang and Lan Shi. However, he was not afraid and believed that he was strong enough to overcome everything. The powerful energy fluctuations on the battlefield became more and more violent, and darkness and light intertwined, forming a spectacular scene. Chen Shang and Lan Zai's attacks continued to bombard the man's dark barrier, and the man also showed amazing persistence, showing no signs of retreating. This guy is so tenacious. Lan Shi felt uneasy, but she did not give up hope. She knew that as long as she persisted, she would be able to defeat her opponent. We can't delay any longer. Chen Zhang's eyes flashed with determination, and he felt that there was still a force in his body that had not been released. He suddenly shouted loudly. The fusion of Taichu's divine power and the power of Qinglong demon slaying sword reached its extreme, and the aura from his body surged out like a volcano erupting. Not to be outdone, Lan Zai's Taichu divine power burst out from his body and merged with Chen Zhang's power. With the combined efforts of the two, blue and cyan light intertwined into an earth-shattering powerful beam of light, rushing straight towards the man's dark barrier. The man's expression changed drastically, feeling the absolute suppression from the two men. The dark barrier began to collapse and could no longer withstand the attacks of the two men. Impossible. The man's voice trembled, and he felt that his plan was about to fail completely. It's time to end, Lan Shi said coldly. Her divine sword danced, and the power of Taichu's divine power and the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Sword converged. Chen Zhang's Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife turned into a giant dragon, roared and tore through the darkness, and slashed away. The man let out a shrill howl, and his whole body was completely swallowed up in blue and cyan light. The darkness gradually dissipated and the battlefield returned to tranquility. We succeeded, Lan Shi breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Shang also breathed a sigh of relief, with a happy smile on his face. He didn't expect that he could cooperate with Lan Shi so well. Lan Zai's power seemed to be a perfect fit with him. What on earth is that guy? Did he exist before Xingwei Ancient Wood was born? Lan Shi looked at the huge cyclone in the sky ahead, her eyes full of worry. The three sisters Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua were still in that mysterious and dangerous area. Chen Shang said, "It's getting closer. Lanchen and the others must have made a good breakthrough at that place, so that force must try every means to prevent us from going over to support." At this moment, the Star Soul Stone in Chen Zhang's hand trembled slightly, and then a voice came out, "Brother Shen, I made a miscalculation. I didn't expect that the ancient Xingwei tree has been eroded so seriously. Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua, although they are my clones, they are not very important. You don't have to save them. This is the end of the Three Sacred Tree project. Take Su Qing and evacuate this place. Do you like this site? Donate here." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5360, Sacred Tree Ancient Tribe. This was the news that Qingxing suddenly came from. Chen Shang was very confused about this, because he had almost controlled the situation. Although the Xingwei Ancient Wood was seriously eroded, he had killed the inner demon of the Ancient Wood. Now he only needs to purify the remaining evil power. That's it. Although there is still a mysterious force hidden in the dark, Chen Shang is not afraid of them. "Qingxing wife, my place is very good. I will be able to rescue Lanchen and the others soon. The Xingwei Ancient Tree will be under my control again soon." Chen Shang was very confident. "Brother Shen, the three sacred trees existed before the birth of Taichu Heaven and Earth. At that time, there were many forces fighting for the three sacred trees. Now those forces are getting stronger day by day. In Taichu Heaven and Earth, their strength is also considered very strong. If we want to completely control the three sacred trees, we will definitely conflict with them." Qingxing sighed. "I thought that these forces had died over time, but I didn't expect that they have survived to this day." Chen Shang suddenly had a headache. A large number of Star Lords formed a powerful force, and then came the Starry Sky Force, that is, Demon Ancestor Xuanzu and his gang. They led the entire Great Different Heaven, and their overall numbers were large and their strength was also extremely strong. In addition, there are threats from the underworld. But now Qingxing said that the forces that fought for the three sacred trees were still there, and he didn't know how strong these guys were. The man Chen Shang met before should belong to that mysterious force. "Qingxing, how much do you know about them?" Chen Shang asked. "I don't know much, I just know that they call themselves the Ancient Sacred Tree Clan and have very close ties with the three sacred trees. They have been in love and fighting with the three sacred trees for many years." Qingxing said, "Brother Shen, please follow my instructions as I said, escape from this place and take Suqing away from this place of right and wrong. The situation in Taichu Heaven and Earth is getting more and more complicated now, so you should hide first and wait for me to wake up." Qingxing's voice became weaker and weaker. She must have suddenly learned the news about the Ancient Sacred Tree Clan, and then used a lot of strength to contact Chen Shang. Chen Shang held the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife tightly. He knew that Qingxing was right. The situation was indeed getting more and more complicated, and the sudden power of the ancient Divine Tree Clan had shrouded the entire Taichu world in a layer of unknown and danger. However, Chen Shang is not a person who just waits for death. How could he escape so easily and leave Xingwei Gumu, Lanchen and the others behind? He is here to protect Taichu Heaven and Earth. If he doesn't face all this bravely, then who will protect it? "Qingxing, I will not leave, nor will I give up Lanchen, the others, and Xingwei Gumu. Chen Shang responded firmly, we will face all this together and protect the Taichu world together. Brother Shen, Qingxing's voice was weak and gentle, thank you, you are my most important friend and the person I respect the most. Qingxing, don't say these words, we still have a lot of things to do. Chen Zhang's tone was warm. He knew that Qingxing was also facing a difficult breakthrough at this moment, you should have a good rest first. Lan Shi and I will definitely save him. Sha Lanchen and the others. Okay, I choose to believe you, my man. Qingxing's voice gradually became blurry, please be careful. After the communication ended, Chen Shang turned his attention to Lan Shi, and her expression was full of firmness and determination. Let me save Lanchen and the others. Although it's very dangerous over there, I'm not afraid. Lan Shi saw Chen Zhang's silence just now and felt that Chen Shang might be hesitant to go there. Master of the Hall, it's very dangerous over there. I just go. Our Lord of the Fourth Palace can die, but you can't, you are very important to Xingwei Ancient Wood. Let's go together. Chen Shang looked firm and said, I will not escape, and I cannot let any force do whatever they want. He looked at the huge black cyclone in the sky in front of him, which gathered a large amount of the remaining evil energy of Gumu's inner demon. Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua, the three of them were fighting inside the cyclone. After Lan Shi felt Chen Zhang's determination, she knew that no matter how hard she tried to dissuade him, she could not change Chen Zhang's decision. The two of them shook hands tightly, and they agreed to go to the dangerous black cyclone together to rescue Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua. They moved forward resolutely, and as they continued to approach the black cyclone, the increasingly dense evil aura hit their faces. Lan Shi frowned slightly, and she began to mobilize more of Taichu's divine power to strengthen her defense. Brother Shen, we have to be careful. The remaining evil power of Gumu's inner demon is quite powerful. Once it is eroded, it will be seriously harmed. Lan Shi reminded. Chen Shang nodded, he also felt the strong pressure. As they approached the cyclone, they saw many inner demons emerging and attacking them. Chen Shang waved the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife, and the sharp Azure Dragon energy swept out, killing the inner demon. Lan Shi relied on the power of Taichu's divine power to display brilliant blue light curtains to block the inner demons. We must break through their obstruction as soon as possible and enter the cyclone to rescue Lanchen and the others. A look of determination flashed in Chen Zhang's eyes. He knew that time was running out and he could not delay for too long. The two of them cooperated tacitly, like a pair of invincible gods of war, shuttling through the siege of the inner demons and rushing towards the depths of the cyclone. Inside the black cyclone, the evil aura was even stronger, and they felt that a more powerful enemy was waiting in front. Finally, they rushed into the center of the cyclone, and their field of vision suddenly widened. Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua were fighting with a mysterious man in black robes. The man in black robe exuded a powerful dark aura, holding a long black knife, and kept launching violent attacks on the three of them. Although the three women looked very strong at this time, they were all seriously injured. It's all supported by a breath of air. If the fight continues, they will definitely lose. Lanchen, Yuan, Yaohua. Lan Shi shouted hurriedly. When the three heard the sound, they all looked up at the person coming, their eyes full of surprise. Palace Master Lan Shi, Master of the main palace, you are here. Lanchen was overjoyed. Come over to our side. Chen Shang shouted, and the two of them launched an offensive together, trying to attract the attention of the man in black robe. Lanchen, Yuan and Yaohua seized the opportunity, quickly broke through the obstruction, rushed out of the range of the black cyclone, and came behind Chen Shang and Lan Shi. Damn it! The man in black robe was furious when he saw someone had rescued the three girls. He stared at Chen Shang and Lan Shi coldly, showing a cold smile. I didn't expect you to be able to come here. Well, then I will catch you all. This man in black robe has the same soul as the mysterious man Chen Shang Lan Shi met before. Are you from the ancient sacred tree clan? Chen Shang said coldly. The ancient star tree belongs to me, so get out of here. The man in black robe sneered. Haha, you are not ashamed of your words, can you deal with our ancient sacred tree tribe? You are too naive. The three sacred trees should belong to us, but because of too many accidents, we have to stay away from the three sacred trees. Sacred tree.